Morning, y'all. Had to take some ibuprofen for my back. Hurting this morning, man. I'm hurting this morning. I'm hurting this morning. I was gonna take the Tylenol, but couldn't risk the tism. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't risk the tism. Thanks a cup of Joe. Yeah, VJ, it sucks, man. It does. It sucks. Oh. Yeah, no, it's definitely hurting today. Can't be taking the Tylenol, okay? Look, first of all, and I think most people that do this or some form of this, right? Like it doesn't have to be exactly what I do, but like some form of this type of work, right? Like where we where we're on camera and we're streaming and we talk politics and all sorts of stuff. I am under the very very like real belief that you can't do this unless you're somewhere on that spectrum. Okay? I'm not saying you have to be all the way on it, but you got to be a little on it. That's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes a little bit of sense, okay? just my personal belief. Okay, is it 100%? Probably not. All right, probably not. But I think so. You got to be somewhere on there. Right? ADHD people are on the spectrum. Like there's it's a large spectrum. It's a very very large spectrum. It's a very very large spectrum. Right, we got Lilith on it because there's no other reason to be obsessing over every little tiny detail like we do. I don't know. Ari and I have this conversation very often. I was listening to a couple other critters I know talk about that too. They were talking about this is they're just like they're I think they were talking religion or science or something like that. I don't even remember what they were talking about. Some like really smart thing or whatever. They were like, and someone was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just kind of went off on a tangent there." And he goes, "It's all good. You're just you're just exercising your autistic superpower. I don't think I'm really there, but I definitely know. I don't know. Just saying. Hello, Bailey. Bailey's been on one today. I'm lucky. Thank you so much for the combos over there. I appreciate that. Ooh, and CJ, we already got CJ starting out with the 5 gifted memberships this morning. Can you get huge W's in the chat for CJ? See if we can figure out who CJ got into. Oh, yeah. One of the people who got it, their name is I Love Polygons. And I love that. Got a membership. Chris Smith, who I think is a troll, just got one. I'm not sure. He's been in there kind of being weird. She don't want to be named. Got one. That's perfect. Jerlin and Tracy. Oh, Tracy's around all the time. I'm really happy Tracy got one. Big W's in chat for CJ for the 5 gifted to start this morning. Really, really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Well, some of you caught my little last minute live last night. I did about an hour and 15 minutes last night. It was fun. I had a good time. Who won phase 10? We didn't finish the game. I got too tired. I was tired. Ara was tired. Everybody was tired. So my daughter is winning right now. Thanks again, CJ. I really appreciate that. My daughter's winning right now. I believe she's either on 7 and we're both on 6, or she's on 8 and we're both on 7. I don't remember exactly which one. But she's one ahead of, and she made a comeback because she was behind too. Because she made a comeback because she was not starting off that game well, and she screamed back in. What phase is it? I'm on the one where it's like 2 sets of 4. I think that's phase 7. I think that's phase 7. I think that's where I'm at. So we're gonna finish it out today. We gotta go off, and we need shoes and hoodies. So we're going to do a little shopping today. Am I taking calls? I will take calls. Camel says, if you haven't had a lobotomy, you're smarter than Trump. And that is very rude to people with lobotomies. Okay. That is very, very rude to people with lobotomies. All right. Speaking of lobotomy, did you guys watch that new that Ed Gein monster show yet? That's very wow. I just started it because I had a little time off. The show's kind of wild. Sorry, I just thought of it because one of the characters in it gets offered a lobotomy in the show. So yeah, it's a very good show. It's a very good show. I haven't finished it yet. We'll be taking calls in just a minute. I'm just kind of letting it fill up and kind of letting it get on in here. No, it was the actor that was playing him. Remember? Because he was going through like conversion therapy or something. Like, and He was trying to like get fixed or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Am I speaking crazy? Broncos fan here. What's the Chargers? What's up with the Broncos? What are you talking about? They they barely beat the Raiders. They put up 10 points on the Raiders. I will say it right now. I will say it right now. Like straight up. And I you can quote me as saying this. Broncos will be third in the division by the time the season's over. You can quote me on that. You can quote me on that. They will be third in the division by the time the season's over. Just being straight up. How much you got? Bro, they beat let's see. Who have they beat? They beat Jake Browning barely. They beat Jackson Dart barely. They beat Geno Smith barely. And Geno Smith wasn't even in the game the whole time. He got hurt. A hurt Geno Smith barely. Okay. They beat David Mills barely. Okay. Like they've played no one. They're frauds. They're complete frauds. They're complete frauds. Yeah, a win is a win. You guys got the wins, and now you guys are about to get a lot of losses, because you're gonna start playing freaking teams that actually have like their starting quarterbacks. I didn't realize Bailey was like right there on the screen. I didn't realize he was over there. I'm not being a hater. Y'all are gonna get your ass whooped by the Chiefs next week. You guys are gonna get absolutely freaking smoked by the Chiefs next week, and then you'll be most likely freaking second in the division from there. So, just saying. Anywho, sorry, we're just getting this thing started, y'all. We just go nice and slow on Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. I don't really rush it, so we just talk about stuff. You've never seen the kitty? That's Bailey. He's one of the two cats here. He's the asshole of the cats. What the heck just happened to my light? It finally died. It finally died. I didn't realize my little LED light back there just turned off. I want to get a nice like sign. I just haven't had the funds to be able to do it lately, so. Ugh. But I just got a nice sign. I just realized that thing just like completely turned off. That's kind of crazy. I wonder if I like, hold on, let's see, how's this look?
have no maturity.
Okay. No, that looks ridiculous. That's okay. I think we'll survive for the night. Anyways. Yes, they do have cords. Things do run off of cords here. It's crazy. Jaded, thank you so much for the corgi. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess it's finally time to replace that thing. I guess it's finally time to replace that thing. I haven't wanted to. That's what I should do. I should just have I should just paint something up there. That'd be cool. I don't know how to paint. But that'd be pretty gnarly. Actually, maybe I'll do that. All right, I'm gonna open up the phone lines. We'll see if we get anything like slowly just kind of, trickling in. Yeah, we'll just see if we get people kind of trickling in. Just kind of, what are you doing, dumb cat? I've seen a couple of phone calls come in, but I'm not expecting it to go too fast. Yeah, I was just thinking, because I was gonna replace that sign with a big neon sign or whatever. Don't be mean to Bailey. I will be mean to Bailey all I freaking want. I feel zero sympathy for Bailey. Bailey's an asshole. Bailey is a straight up asshole. Okay, zero sympathy for Bailey. Now, Safari on the other hand, Safari's sweet. Bailey's an ass. Bailey's the orange cat that was just sitting over here behind me. He was just right here. He was just right on the screen. Sister Mary Elephant, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining the team. I appreciate that. I think again. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, is this the YouTube channel?
Yep. How are you?
All good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. So why would you do that?
I just believe America is respected around the world again. Under Biden, there was no respect. That's why Putin went into Ukraine and all those things were going on in the Chinese spy balloon that flew across our heartland. So, yeah, I just feel that America's more respected again. And I know prices are a little high right now. I know because I went to Walgreens yesterday, only bought 2 things, and it was like $30. But I do have faith in Trump that the prices will go down because, we had Biden when we had the 9% inflation. And the Democrats said, it'll go down. And, eventually it did go down. But I think it'll go down the same here, and inflation is down.
But it's not down at all.
It's around hovering above a little 2%.
It's 3.
Okay, well, it's still better than the 9% from Biden.
Right, but the 9% wasn't caused by Biden. The 9% just existed while Biden was president.
Well, it was because of the excessive spending.
Who's excessive spending?
They had a lot of spending. Those.
Yeah, you're right. They did have a lot of spending, right? They did. All right. I'm asking you who the they is. Okay. Because Donald Trump added $8.4 trillion to the national debt, which is more than any president has done in 4 years in the history of the United States. So Trump did all the spending, right? And then Biden gets in and the inflation goes up and somehow you blame Biden for the spending? That doesn't make any sense.
But the inflation peaked 1.5 years into Biden's first term.
Yeah, sir, do you think that you just spend money and then like the next day, like inflation goes up?
No, you have a point there. But I mean, I just came to share that one opinion. That was all.
Well, that's fine. We're just talking about your opinion. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
No, yeah.
Right. So, let me ask you a question.
No, yeah,
so, when the United States inflation rate went up to around 9%, what did the world's inflation rate go up to?
Yeah, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't come to debate. I just came to share my opinion. That was all.
We're not debating. We're having a conversation, sir. Do you not here? Are you not here to have a conversation? You just want to not even address anything that you said?
I mean, yeah, I just saw the channel says, "What do you think?" And
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, why do
We're
you
now we're now
support? And
talking about this thing, sir. I'm questioning why you're believing this. Okay, why you're saying this, right? Because under Biden, yes, the inflation rate went to 9%. The world's inflation rate went to 10%. See, this is the I know this is the problem with people. They want to have their beliefs, and the second that you actually want to talk about anything that they believe, they want to run and cry and run away. This is why people like that don't ever learn anything. He decided, hi, Biden caused this inflation. Okay, let's talk about how he did it. Oh, well, I don't want to actually do that. I just wanted to tell you my opinion, and then I didn't want to talk about it at all. Yeah, he was just there to leave some feedback on the channel, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. It's such a sad world we live in. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How old are you?
I am 34.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Absolutely.
That's a weird response, but okay.
I noticed when you were talking to the gentleman, you were like, the other countries, whenever the United States shot up to 9%, why did the other countries follow in suit?
That's actually not what I said and not what happened.
Okay, well, can you rephrase?
Yeah, I said while the United States was at 9%, what was the world's at, which was over 10%. I'm not saying the United States had the inflation first and then the world followed suit.
Right. Well, that kind of
Sir, hold on.
insinuates that
I'm almost finished. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not saying the United States went to 9% and then the rest of the world follows suit. I'm saying that all of the inflation happened simultaneously.
Okay. Because other countries mirror what the United States does. Everything
Incorrect.
that happens in the United States trickles. Okay. How am I incorrect?
Because it wasn't caused by them emulating what the United States does. First of all, us printing too much money in the United States does not cause a 10% inflation rate in China. Okay, they're not even a United States based currency. All right, and if you want to say there's some trickle down from that, that's fine. But what you would see is something like a 9% in the United States and maybe like a 3% or a 4% in China, that from the products that China is getting from us to deal with like the import and export situations, right?
So,
But it all
opinion,
happened at the same time, okay? Because it wasn't the
Okay.
United States that caused it.
So, do you believe that countries can be influential to other countries?
Absolutely.
And which country do you think is the most influential country in the world?
That depends on what you're talking about.
Just influence in general. Everything. Like, which country is the most influential country in the world?
Well, I would say there's probably a split between the United States and China right now.
There you go.
That doesn't have to do with anything of what I'm talking about, sir. We're talking about the causes of inflation. Okay, and
Correct. Like government shutdowns.
Sir, yeah, that's actually one of the biggest reasons why it was shut down or why the inflation went up is because all these countries across the planet shut down. Yeah, and we didn't have.
Because the United States did that. That's correct.
I'm sorry. When did the United States announce it? Hold on. When did the United States announce an economic shutdown?
Okay, out of all the cities in America, which cities kept the schools closed?
Why aren't you answering my question? When did the United States implement a policy of full economic shutdown?
They never did. I'm talking about whenever COVID just started, because you're saying that all this stuff is because of COVID, right? That we had.
Well, there was multiple reasons besides COVID, but you won't let me get to any of those. But COVID was the largest one, yes.
But you won't ever let me finish a point I'm trying to make. I gave you your chance to finish your point.
No, you haven't. You haven't given me a chance to finish one of my points, actually. But if you'd really like to finish yours, go ahead.
My point is, when COVID first started, all the Republican cities opened up schools because they noticed the problems. All the Democrat cities kept businesses closed, schools closed. It hurt the schools' grades, the overall average scores of all those schools. It hurt businesses in the area. Just look at California, dude. It's a
What does
ghost
that have to
town.
do
We
with
saw it
what
on the
we're
news.
talking about, sir? And this is why I keep coming back to it. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? If certain cities shut down, hold on,
Inflation.
sir, listen. If
Huh?
certain cities shut
listening.
down and certain cities didn't, how does that mean that other countries were following our lead when we didn't even have a lead? We couldn't even decide within our own country whether we were shutting down or not shutting down. So how does that mean that other countries were following our lead of shutting down?
Because whenever COVID first happened, we were like, this is a dangerous thing, and we did all these things. You had to wear a mask to go into gas stations. You had to get certain booster shots just to be a nurse. You had to get the COVID vaccine. And if these other countries didn't follow suit, just like their media does and everything else, then they would have been cast out as an outcast, a bad country.
China and the European Union shut down before we did.
Okay.
So they weren't following suit. They did it before us.
What does China have to do with anything? I don't
Because,
understand.
sir, what I'm talking about is a global.
I'm talking about Poland,
listen,
France, Spain.
Yeah, all of those countries are in the EU. I just talked about them. Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
When
they shut down
country,
before the
they
United
followed
States
suit.
did, not after.
Whereas making their inflation go up as well. Yes, correct. But if the United States would have what they were going to do with Operation Warp Speed, they were actually getting somewhere until Biden stepped in and continued the shutdown. Businesses couldn't do this, schools couldn't do that, had to remain closed, blah 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 blah, creating inflation. And he just kept handing out stimulus checks. Whereas when Trump was in office,
sir,
if you go back
I don't
and
know
look
why,
at the
sir.
records,
I think
the
maybe we need a.
economy
I
was
think maybe we
booming.
need a level set here. Okay. Because you just keep talking about shit that we're not talking about at all. Okay, it sounds like you really want to talk about the U.S. shutdown for shutdown of the economy.
Well, how
Which,
can we
hold on,
talk about
sir,
how inflation
I can
happened?
gladly do that. Okay, and I can totally talk to you about
Okay.
specifically that thing, but that's not the conversation we're having right now. Okay. Your point was that all of these other countries were following the United States lead, okay, which is how the United States caused worldwide inflation. Okay, but that's not what happened because those countries shut down before the US did, and they gained inflation at the exact same time that we did. Okay, so there was multiple reasons for the global inflation. There was multiple reasons for the 9% inflation rate. Okay, there was multiple reasons on all of those. Okay, and none of those, okay, were because Democratic cities made nurses get shots. Okay, none of the reasons for inflation were that. What, sir? That's what I'm saying. You're talking about all these other little things like, oh, the schools were shut down. Sir, the schools being shut down didn't create a 9% inflation rate in the United States and a 10% inflation rate across the world.
Okay. Look, first of all, we have to nail down why there was inflation, correct?
Sure. Well, I mean, we don't have to nail it down. We know why.
Why did it happen?
Yeah, so there was a shortage of durables, right? There was a high demand and shortage for durables on the opening up of COVID. We had a spike in gas prices due to the OPEC.
What do you mean by durables? What's a durable? I'm sorry. Educate me. What's a durable?
What's like commodities, right? Like usable like commodities, right? Plastics, right? Okay.
And why was there a shortage?
Because factories were shut down across the world.
Okay. And why were factories shut down across the world?
COVID.
Okay, exactly. And what was being done about that?
Sir, can you just let me finish why we had the inflation and then you can like jump into one?
Operation Warp Speed, the only president that actually wanted to do something about it until Biden stepped in.
All right, sir. Can you let me finish now?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we had a demand for demand for durables and a shortage of durables across the entire world. We had the OPEC Plus deal, which significantly raised the price of oil coming, that was being produced across the world. All right, we had a high demand for oil because everybody had been shut in because of COVID, and therefore, everybody was trying to get out and moving and traveling and doing all of the stuff afterwards.
Can I stop you on
No,
OPEC?
you cannot.
Why are we relying on OPEC?
No, you cannot.
Why are we relying on OPEC?
No, you cannot.
Exactly.
No, you can. No, sir, I can easily answer that question. But see, what I need you to have, what I need you to have,
we
okay,
shouldn't even be relying
sir,
on OPEC.
sir. What I need you to have is the patience of a
Do
kindergartner.
we not have plenty of oil here in the United
Sir,
States?
I need you to have the patience of a kindergartner. Okay? And let me finish
Well, I
my
just wanted to
sentence.
stop you while you were saying
Sir,
that
you
little bit of
can,
propaganda.
sir, how old did you say you were?
34.
Okay. I'm going to need you to act like it because I've been trying to get this one sentence out for 5 minutes. But again, it's like
You
talking to a
talked for
toddler.
5 minutes.
Sir, I can talk for 20 minutes. This is my platform.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So if you cut me off before I finish
Okay.
while we had inflation again, I'm hanging up the phone on you, okay? Because this is
Okay.
ridiculous and I want to talk to adults.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So, demand and shortage for durables, a rise in oil prices due to an increased demand for it and a reduced supply of oil, okay, from across the world. Not to mention the mix of that in between the Russia and Ukraine war, right, which also reduced the amount of oil that was across the world. And we had multiple shipping lanes that were closed, so therefore traveling and moving goods across the world was limited, and therefore we had a simple supply and demand issue. See, that wasn't too hard, was it?
No.
There you go. Now you can ask whichever question you like.
Okay. So, I mean, okay. I mean, I debunked your whole OPEC thing.
Yes, you did a great job. I have no idea what you said.
I'm still waiting for an explanation on that.
I wasn't
Why are we
listening
relying
to
on
you, sir.
OPEC?
So that's why I'm asking. Okay, why are we relying on OPEC? Because we don't have the ability to refine the amount of oil that we would need in order to keep the United States running. Okay.
And why don't we have the ability to refine the oil? It's because whenever Biden and Kamala got into office, they said that we're gonna start using EV or electronic vehicles only, and that scared the hell out of the oil companies. So they stopped producing refining companies.
We
That's the whole
produced
deal. You're
more
correct.
oil.
We don't have them. Yes, we produce oil, but it's not refined.
Yes, sir, because we don't
We
have
have
the
to-
ability
we
to
have to
refine
equate-
it because Donald
And
Trump
why
actually.
would they?
Sir, again,
never
sentence,
let me finish the
sentence,
point.
patience. Because Donald Trump sold off our largest two
Okay.
refineries to Saudi Arabia. Now go ahead.
Donald Trump sold all of our refiner. Wait, what?
Our largest two refineries in the United States, Donald Trump sold them
Mhm.
off to Saudi Arabia during his first term.
Well, I didn't know that. And the big oil companies never say that. Every time they come on, they always act like it's Kamala, or not Kamala, excuse me. It's always the Democrats and everybody else that hold them down.
Well, it's actually funny because
See,
right
that's
now, okay, it's actually really funny
Mhm.
because Donald Trump said he was like actually in 2023 and 2024, we produced more oil than we ever have in American history, right? We were the most
Mhm.
independent energy independent that we'd been in 70 years under the Biden administration. Okay. And Donald Trump said that when he came in office, he was going to release all this property and all this land and all this sort of stuff for us to be producing oil on,
Mhm.
right? And then he did that. He came in, he signed executive orders, he released land for them to drill on. And all of Big Oil said, yeah, we're not doing that. Because it's not cost beneficial for us to produce that oil.
I mean, I'm not exactly, I guess, caught up on my oil stuff, but I don't even know if that's true or not. But what I can tell you is true is that the gas here in Texas is way cheaper than it was under the Biden administration. We were sitting at what, $3.50, $4 a gallon here in Texas. We're currently sitting at $2.70.
Yeah, so actually October
Where I'm
is the
at.
first month, okay, since Donald Trump has been
Mhm.
presidency, where the gas is cheaper than it was since he took office. Every
Okay,
single
I
month
mean,
up
of course.
until now.
He's barely been in office for a year.
Well, no, so that doesn't
Not
really have
even a
much to
year
do
yet.
with it. Okay, what it has to do with is the fact that winter shows up, and whenever we go into winter, we get cheaper gas prices, and as the summer comes, then gas prices rise. That's it. That's just
Yeah,
happens regardless of
that is
president.
true. That is true. But regardless, it's still cheaper than it was last year around wintertime, be that as it may. Like I said, around this time last year, it was $3.30,
It was not.
$3.40. Here at my local gas station, we're sitting at like $2.70, $2.60 some
Nope.
days.
The average gas price across the United States from like January of last year, right, is less than 5 cents difference.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. So you're seeing maybe like a cent or two cheaper than it was, in
Mhm.
January.
What about grocery prices?
Grocery prices are up across the board.
I mean, from all the charts and graphs that I've seen, that they're not, and people can look that
I
up for themselves.
they
You
can.
can Google that right
Please
now.
please do. I mean, I can Google it and put it up on the screen for everybody if they really want.
I mean, yeah, do it.
Okay, cool.
I know stuff's down.
Mhm. Ugh. So this is actually, well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Insane.
if you actually look at the BLS statistics, which I can throw up on the screen right now for everybody to
Mm-hmm.
see. Sorry, I don't have it set up to friggin'. There we go. All right. So 12-month percentage change, consumer price index, select categories not seasonally adjusted, right? So December of last year is like 1.8% increase year over year. If you want to go back to like November of
Mhm.
last year, so we have more accurate year over year, depiction, it was 1.6. And currently it
Mhm.
is, well, as of the last numbers that we had, which is September, it was 2.7% year over year increase.
So you're saying it went up 1% since last year of November?
1 to 2%, yeah. We don't have the numbers for October and November directly from BLS because the government shut down, and also Donald Trump told them to stop reporting. Kind of weird that, he told them to stop reporting those numbers, but hey,
Well, I mean, I don't know about them telling Donald Trump that, but I know that the CEO of Walmart was just on CNN, a week ago, talking about, they were trying to ask him about how grocery prices are just shot up under Donald Trump. And the only thing he could say was, well, that's actually not true. The fact is that this and this and this is going to be this much money. And that's I can't remember the total percentages from last year that it's down from, but it was pretty substantial.
yeah. So
And that's
it-
and that's not just coming from the lips of the Walmart CEO. That's also coming from my own personal grocery shopping list. I mean, it's like noticeably different. And I mean, I don't know I don't know why that's saying it's a 1% increase, but from the very man himself, the CEO of Walmart, coming on and saying, actually, we're not affected by tariffs.
I would love to see that,
Actually-
considering the
actually, we're
CFO from Walmart came out 2 months ago and said that we are about at our limit on how long we can sustain actually eating the cost of these tariffs. The
Yeah, I
the
mean, go on
CFO of
YouTube,
Walmart said that
type-
2 months ago.
Well, I'm talking about the CEO, and he was just on CNN. You go on YouTube and look it up right now.
I'm not going to do that right now because it's not true. Okay. Even if the CEO said it, it's simply not true. We can see that prices are rising. Right. And I don't know where the heck you're grocery shopping at. Okay. But all of us that grocery shop, like, normal people. Okay. Like it's not happening. Right. And they try to make it seem like it is. Like, I don't know if you've seen this whole thing about like, oh, the Walmart grocery list is down 25% from last year. Have you seen that?
The TikToks
Well, that was just it was
of
some,
people showing receipts from this year and last year.
no, it's like the
differences?
Walmart shopping list. It's like an actual like official
because
Walmart
I've only
shopping list.
seen the I've only seen the
Thanksgiving
I've only
meal,
seen
that's
the
right.
TikTok reels of people showing receipts from this
Yeah,
year and
so
last year. and
Walmart
being
every year
like
comes out with like
$600
a-
difference.
Yeah, Walmart comes out with like a Thanksgiving shopping list every year, right? And they give you like a price and all sorts of stuff. And they came out and they were like, yeah, it's down 25%. What they didn't tell you is actually it went from 21 items down to 15 items. And they substituted all the name brand stuff for Great Value brand. Right? And then
Right.
told you it was 25% cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So they're lying to
Hey,
you.
what's your name?
You can call me Polly.
Polly? Okay. Polly, what do you think about this whole government shutdown thing going on right now? Like, who's to blame? What do you think about it? Why do you think it is?
Yeah, so I mean, it just depends on how you want to look at it, right? Like truthfully,
Mhm.
like the
Well, I mean,
Republicans,
like, yeah, like,
the
what's your opinion?
Republicans could currently, without any Democratic help, open up the government, and they're choosing not to. Right.
Mhm.
So If you look at it that way, it's definitely their fault. On the other hand, Democrats are stopping a CR from being passed right now because they won't, go with a nuclear option when it comes to it. So
Right.
they're stopping it in order to make sure that people actually have their health care, right? So really, you can look at it either way. You can look at it from the side of the CR, the current CR they're trying to pass. Democrats are stopping in order to make sure that the average person on the ACA, which affects over 40 million people, don't see a price increase of their health insurance by average of 114%, right? Which I think is a pretty
Mm-hmm.
good cause. You know what I'm saying? At the same point, the
Mm-hmm.
Republicans could reopen this whenever they want. So kind of
They
on them
could.
too.
I mean, how could they do that? Like, I just want you like, how could they reopen it?
Yeah, so they can either pass a budget reconciliation bill, which only requires a singular, a civil majority, just like they did in March with the big beautiful bill, right? So that would open up at least parts of the government. Wouldn't open up the whole thing completely, but it would be able to fund specific programs, right? Or they could do like what Donald Trump has
Mm-hmm.
actually called for, which is either do the nuclear option, which allows John Thune to be able to set a specific, meeting for this one in which they overrule the filibuster, right? Which they've already done multiple
Mm-hmm.
times this year, and including doing for Trump's nominations, where they took 60 vote nominations and brought them down to 51 votes for a singular bill. Or they could completely abolish the filibuster, which Donald Trump has specifically called for, and they could do pretty much whenever, and they're choosing not to.
Right. And then why won't the Democrats go ahead and vote on the CR, which they've already done? Would they say 13 times before in the
14.
past? 14 times.
Yep.
Why don't they just do that, and then it reopens the government, and then why don't they do that?
Well, again, the reason is because of healthcare, right? So during
Correct, but they could vote on the CR and then go negotiate the healthcare stuff, couldn't they?
they could,
And then
okay, but
SNAP, and then
yeah, they could.
yeah, go ahead.
They could. You're right. They could. Okay. Here's the problem with that is in March when Donald Trump did it, March, May, whatever it was, when Donald Trump did his big beautiful bill, right? They actually said that that's what they did. They actually signed on to Donald Trump's big beautiful bill, or at least some of them did, right? With the understanding that they were
Right.
like, hey, we're going to get certain concessions in this, and we're also going to be able to negotiate other things that we want, right? And then the second that the Democrats signed onto it, the Republicans rescinded every single thing that they gave Democrats, and then refused to negotiate on anything else.
Right.
So the Democrats tried to do that. They tried to sign on to a Republican bill and then negotiate things afterwards, right? And Republicans stabbed them in the back.
Right.
So if they did that to them earlier this year, why would they think that the Republicans would do any different now?
I mean, I don't really know. That's a good point, and I'm not really sure that's 100% true.
Well, sir, it is 100% true. Whether you choose to believe it or not is fine, okay? But the Democrats just got
it's
stabbed
like
in.
there's no contract or anything. You're saying it's pretty much a handshake deal, so nobody really knows like what was agreed upon or what wasn't, because it's not official. I mean, it's pretty much what you're saying is a handshake. So
No, it was
I mean, who
official, sir.
really
It was
knows what
on
was
paper.
agreed on, and
It was on
but what we
paper.
can say
This wasn't some backdoor
it was on
handshake deal, sir. This was
paper.
in paper, right? This was in paper, signed off by Congress, right? And then the second that it was passed, the Republicans went back in and then used their simple
I don't
majority
mean
to
that.
rescind
I'm
it.
talking about. No, I don't mean that. I'm talking about the stuff that they like. They're saying the Democrats said, okay, if we agree to this bill, da 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 da, and then when we get it passed, you guys are going to do this X, Y, and Z for us. I'm saying that the X, Y, and Z was never like it. I mean, we can say that that's what they said, but like, who really knows what all was agreed upon?
'Cause it was on paper,
It's
sir. It
hearsay.
said it was on paper. It was announced by both sides. I don't understand
It
the
was
issue
in the
here.
bill saying that we're gonna agree to this on a later on date. Is that what
Well,
you're
sir,
saying
that
in the
part was
bill?
just said by literally them on the floor. That like all of their you do realize that these are all public hearings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they talk about this stuff openly and in public. They can just
Well, those public hearings are like super boring. I mean, we only we only really watch the good stuff, right?
I mean, I don't find it boring. I actually find it quite interesting. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you sound like a smart guy, and I'm sure you do. I mean, I like to keep up with it, I guess, more than your normal person as well. But I mean, I obviously can't keep up with everything. But I mean, it's a mess all around, and I mean, I'll have to look into what you're talking about, and But yeah, um, I don't know, man. I'm a diehard Republican. Well, I would say I'm a little more like independent Republican. I mean, there are some things that I don't like. I'm not a neocon Republican. I'm against the war and everything like that, or against wars and stuff like that. I just want to conserve more because I feel like the country's $40 trillion in debt. And we need to do something about it. I mean, we can't keep going in the same direction that we've been going because, I mean, how far can we go down this rabbit hole before, I mean, things get bad?
Sir, Donald Trump added
And
$8.4 trillion to national debt in his first term, has already requested a debt ceiling increase, and approved $4 trillion more in 10 years spending in the United States this year.
Mhm. Yeah, but the difference between Donald Trump and the Republicans versus the Democrats is that when Republicans spend money, the economy is actually booming. I mean, when you go on the news, you can see the GDP's up by like 3%. I mean, under Biden, it was only growing at like what 1.5%, 1% at best.
Sir,
I mean,
the economy
economy
is not
actually.
doing well. What are you talking about? Our economy is in shambles right now. The last 10 recessions have happened under Republican presidents. 10. 10. Not a single Democrat.
What? Okay, let's talk about the economies in shambles. What is the inflation rate at right now?
About
3%.
3%. Yep.
That's not bad. What's the S&P 500 at right now?
I don't know
Record
exactly.
highs. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, if that's the case, sir, it was
gas is
record highs under the
down.
Biden administration too.
hmm
And Donald Trump specifically
Uh,
said that the stock market is not a good judge of the economy. When I look at the economy, I look at things like job creation, which is at record lows, right? We actually had the first job loss numbers um,
mhm.
in 4 years since the shutdown for COVID. The first job loss numbers in the United States were in July, right? So we shut down for COVID,
Right.
we
How many
reopened
of
back
those?
up, and hadn't had job loss numbers since then. 4.3% unemployment rate. That's the highest it was before COVID, since COVID shut down.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we had like, I think it was something like, I don't even remember what the layoff numbers were. They were crazy
But
high this month.
conservative Republicans, when we see that off the rip, you know what we think? Let me tell you what we think, how we feel about that. Because during a government shutdown, all of a sudden, and even with Elon Musk, he said Doge is still operating to this day. He's just not uh, in charge of it. When we see stuff like that, we know that a lot of those jobs are government jobs,
No,
and
there,
we know that a lot of these. Uh-huh.
no, there was government job cuts, but there was also cuts from Amazon, Walmart, Target, UPS, Starbucks. Like the majority of the jobs that were dropped were not this. I think Amazon cut something like 30,000 jobs, or like 15 now and 15
Uh-huh.
projected over the next year. Right? Like there was about
Right.
a there
And
was
what about
about
all
a
the?
there was about 100,000 job cuts, but like over this year or whatever. But I think there's been 1 million job cuts total over the whole year.
I don't know what's going on there. That's odd. I'm gonna have to look into that. But what about the? What is it? What are like $1.5 trillion in new investment that Trump is bringing to the country and economy? I mean, I forgot who all signed up for it and who all was in it, but I know that there was like several different countries that are investing like
It's
different sums of money. I
insane.
believe one was like 400 billion, another one
No,
was
they're not.
it was a bunch.
No, they're not.
They're not.
No.
That was a show, or
Of course it was. Donald Trump said that Japan was agreeing to pay this like ridiculous amount. I don't even remember what number it was. And then literally the prime minister of Japan came out and was like, yeah, that's not true at all. Like in reality,
which isn't a bad idea because we've pretty much been
Sir,
funding their entire
sir,
military for
sir,
the last 50 years.
you know how like US like bonds work, which is how like we
hmm
keep our government going like in debt, like while we're, you know what I'm saying, by selling off bonds. Japan
hmm
owns more of our bonds than any other country on the planet. They're keeping our economy going. They're keeping our existence going right now. If Japan wanted to default on those bonds, he would literally bankrupt the United States tomorrow. Okay, but
No,
Japan,
I mean, I agree.
but
I'm not arguing the fact that the
but
country is not in great shape. I mean,
but
we've
but
let things
but
go on
Japan
for way
said,
too long.
Donald Trump came out and said, "Yep, this is happening," and then literally the next day, Japan was like, "We said that y'all could have a loan. We never said we were investing this amount of money into your country. Hell, I think the one with like Qatar and UAE, they said that like there was like this high investment into the United States. It was like 4 times their yearly GDP. Like they were
Yeah,
like
but
Donald Trump was
we have,
announcing
like,
investment into a
listen,
country that the countries don't even have.
Japan. We have like how many troops stationed over there? Like 50,000 troops stationed in Japan at all times. Literally, if we yank those troops out of their country, forget the loans that they owe us. If they let us go bankrupt, do you realize that they're literally under the risk of losing their country? They'd be an easy target for any, like if something happened to the United States.
It's
You just talked about how if they took those bonds away and if something happened to the United States, it would be a wrap for Japan. Let me just say that.
Not in the slightest.
Because they've been relying on our military for like the last 50 years. They haven't even had their own. You can Google this. They don't have a military.
They
may
have a
few
defense force.
troops
Yes,
for
they
the
do.
president, but like
No, they have a full defense
it's
force. They have an
very
entire air
insignificant.
force and army and everything
they'd
else.
be in big trouble if we
Sir,
let
no, they wouldn't. First of all, they have other alliances,
Japan,
but
little tiny Japan.
sir, that the reason why we're in Japan is not for Japan's benefit; it's for ours. Because being in Japan,
it's for
sir,
both of our benefits.
right? Being in Japan gives us
mutual.
gives us freaking striking points into Asia, right? Into North Korea, into China. We're in Japan. Like if we ever have to freaking defend Taiwan, which hopefully we don't ever. But where do you think those planes are coming from? They're coming from Japan. They're coming from South Korea. And they're coming from Guam, right?
Correct.
Those places are the forward areas for our military to be able to attack off. Yes, they gain some advantage from us being there, and we also gain advantage from us being there. But if you think for any
which is
like
a bigger
any,
advantage?
sir, if you think that if
what's a
the
bigger-
United States military left Japan, Japan would just disappear, it's not fucking true. There'd be just
Well,
a
let me
whole
ask you.
bunch of
Let me
other
get a word
countries
in.
that
Let me get a
jumped in
word
there.
in. So what's a bigger advantage? Us stationing 50,000 troops, or just the off chance that we may have to do a strike from Japan one day? I mean, what's a bigger advantage? Because I know those troops aren't cheap to feed and station over there. I mean, we are paying them while they're there.
Troops aren't cheap to pay, regardless of where they're at, and they're all across the world.
Well, I don't disagree, but I'm saying what's a bigger advantage? Us maybe having the off chance of having to do a strike off the coast of Japan, or us stationing 50,000 troops there for the last 50 years?
Sure, we choose to put
I mean,
troops
that's a
there.
lot of money.
What are you talking? We're not, again, this isn't a
No, I know
favor
we
that we're
choose
doing
to. I'm not
Japan. You
saying
do
that.
understand that, right? This isn't a favor that we're doing Japan. Okay? We beat them in
Well,
World War
it
II
kinda
and
is.
just fucking put troops there and said, fucking deal with it.
Dude, we could honestly bring all of our troops home, throw up all of our domes.
Then
and
do
shit.
it.
We wouldn't have to mess with anybody,
Then
but
do
we
it.
do.
Then we should do it.
We should, honestly.
Japan will be just fine.
I'm speaking in a sense of, does it matter if anybody else
insane.
is fine except America?
No,
I mean, is that
Japan would
right?
be just
I don't
fine.
know if it is, but
okay?
I'm saying could we?
Japan would
Yes.
be totally fine. They would literally just bring in a bunch of their other allies to help protect him because other people would realize the strategic advantage of having strike
What other
bases near
allies?
Japan. You think we're Japan's only ally?
Well, I'm just asking you, what other ally is significant? other than the
Name
United States?
one, dude.
asking you, name
South
one.
Korea, Australia, just to put the two major ones in the region, and then we can go all the way over into Europe because they also have an alliance with most of the EU countries, right?
The whole entire EU is as weak as it's ever been. That's a known fact.
Yes,
the UK is
known
literally
fact.
on shambles right
they're
now.
they're literal. The EU is literally probably stronger than it's ever been.
Really?
Yes,
You really believe that?
I don't believe that. I know that.
Okay, man. Well, and then another thing, I mean, just look at Democrat-ran cities. I mean, good Lord, look
Sure,
at
there aren't
Chirac.
Democrat-ran
Look at-
cities.
look
No,
at-
that's such a Fox News talking point, dude. Turn off the news every once in a while, man. There aren't Democrat-ran
So-
cities, okay? There are cities, okay, who vote
Mm-hmm.
on their leadership. That's
Right.
it, okay? And those people in those cities vote for Democrats. Do you ever wonder why people in those cities vote for Democrats?
Because they're on drugs and they're dependent on welfare, and the Democrats sell them a dream that they never deliver on, and it just
Yep.
keeps going on and on and on and on.
Yeah, that's why literally in those cities, the people that are like literally the highest educated people are the ones that are most likely to vote Democrat.
Education aside, what does that matter?
Because you're talking about people that are on drugs and on
cities are
welfare, and I'm
literally a
literally
third
talking
world.
about the most like educated people in the in the cities.
I mean, I guess us blue collar guys from Texas, we choose not to go to college. It's not the fact that we couldn't go to college. It's the fact that we know that blue collar jobs actually pay more than a lot of these, you know, college degree requiring.
People in cities vote Democrat. Okay, because when you live in a city,
Yes,
right, which
we
I'm
know
assuming
that.
you haven't before. Okay.
Uh,
I'm just going to assume. All right. When you live in a city, okay, you live in a very diverse area. You meet people of all different religions. You meet people of all different backgrounds and ethnicities. You meet people of all different religions, right? People that come from all different cultures and believe all sorts of different things, right? And when you do that, okay, you become, right, where like more sensitive to the needs of others, right? And democratic policies tend to be,
to the point of,
democratic policies tend to be policies that affect the whole good, all people. All right. Where Republican policies are selfish and they're all concerned about what is going on with me, 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 me. All right. So when I vote, okay, I'm not just thinking about what affects me. I'm thinking about what affects, you know, the women in my life or the women around the world and their, you know, ability to get healthcare, or people that are on SNAP benefits that aren't able to get food.
you mean the ability to have abortion?
I'm concerned with other people outside of myself. Okay, that's why I vote on the left.
I am
generally.
too. And
no, you're not.
See, I don't understand.
No, you're
why,
not.
I don't. Okay, let me talk now.
No, but you're not.
I don't understand.
If you were, you wouldn't be voting the way you vote.
I don't understand why Democrats think Republicans don't care about others. You realize a lot of your policies actually hurt us. Like whenever you don't let us drill here in the United States and it goes outside to Venezuela and Saudi Arabia and these other countries, they don't have things that block the stuff that goes into the environment like DEF and all these other restrictions that we have in the United States. So whenever you don't allow us to drill here and it goes to these other countries like OPEC and stuff, they're actually hurting the environment much worse than they do. Whenever you open the border up and you allow all this mass immigration,
well, I don't know where you went. Okay. But anyways, I'll answer that. Again, sir, we produced more oil under the Biden administration than we have it, but most energy independent than we've been in 70 years. We outdrilled Saudi Arabia.
we're $40 trillion in debt. Where's the end?
And
like,
12 trillion of that is Donald Trump.
Under his economy, the economy is growing at a 3%.
Sir, you said we are
GDP
$40
rate.
trillion in debt.
Booming.
Sir, you said $40 trillion in debt. 12 of that is just Donald Trump. 12.
Democrats have been holding the presidency for the last 16 years out of 20. Up until Trump just got elected again. You guys have been in power. You guys held the office.
That's not true.
Excuse me, House. Barack Obama, 2 terms. Then you had Joe Biden. That's 16 years right there.
I like how you just completely ignore the fact that it was 8 years of Bush prior to that.
Yeah, I know. I don't like Bush.
I'm not saying whether you like Bush. It's a disingenuous statement. It's a disingenuous, sir. It's a disingenuous statement to start the timer right after 8 years of a Republican when a Democrat starts and then go, yep, you guys have had it this long. Like in the last 24 years, it's been 12 and 12.
Yeah, but it didn't start getting bad up until the point that Barack Obama got into office and started doing Obamacare and all these different things.
Oh, what did Obama do? What did Obama do that made it so bad?
He did the Obamacare, which was a complete disaster.
Literally over 40 million people
have make health.
Literally over 40 million people are on the ACA that had
It's a
significant
known fact
reductions
that
in their
Obamacare
prices.
is
And
the shittiest healthcare.
sir,
It's a known fact, man. I'm sorry.
literally
That's just
tens of millions of
undebatable.
people got healthcare that weren't able to get it. Okay, prior to the ACA. All right, and
What
literally
about
tens of,
everybody else?
and then tens of millions more. Okay, were able to get more affordable
Tried
healthcare.
and couldn't.
What do you mean? What about
Well,
everybody else? What about everybody else? What about them?
and Obama's a good example
No,
of
what
the
about
hypocrisy on
everybody
both sides.
else?
He started putting people in cages, and then all of a sudden, you guys, the Democrats, want to say, "Oh, well, we vote to care about people."
The
Literally,
left
Obama started
lost
that,
their
dude.
shit when Obama did that. The left
Oh,
lost
did
their
they? I don't think
whole
they
mind.
did.
They lost their mind.
Obama is like Jesus Christ to you guys.
Sir, literally, Obama was putting people in cages and the left lost their whole fucking mind and was protesting at every immigration facility just like we're doing right now, and was down at the fucking border protesting the inhumane of treatment of people just like we're doing right now. The only difference between that
No,
is,
they are not.
sir,
We
how
are
old are
living
you?
in different worlds,
How old are
my
you?
man. 34.
You're
How old are
34 years.
you?
I'm 39. Well, 39 in a few weeks.
Okay, so we're both
Okay,
basically
sir,
have
I
the
know
same,
that
we're
happened
watching
because
the
I
same
watched
stuff.
it happen. Okay, I know it happened because I watched it happen, and it happened so much. Okay, that the Obama
I
administration
don't ever remember
changed
seeing
their
anything about it.
policy. Sir, the Obama administration changed their policy because of how much the left was protesting and got angry about it. Literally, the left
They hated
protested
it
so much.
they awarded him the Nobel Peace Prize of him only being in office for a week. They assigned him the
That's
Nobel Peace
not
Prize
true.
before he was in office.
That's not
That's
true.
how much they were against him.
That's not true.
How is that not
First of
true?
all,
That
first
is
of all, the left
common
doesn't award
knowledge.
the Nobel Peace Prize. By the way,
I didn't say the left did. I said they awarded him the Nobel Peace Prize, meaning left. Yeah, the left, actually. Yeah, I would say it's left-leaning. The Nobel Peace Prize award thing is now left-leaning, yes.
Gotcha. And how is it left leaning?
Trump literally ended a war, saving thousands of lives.
What war did he end?
Some random. What war did he end?
Mm-hmm.
Did he not just have 20 hostages released?
There was 140 hostages released under the Biden administration. Should he have gotten one?
How many people die daily in Gaza?
Sir.
How many people?
Sir, a lot. How many people are dying right now?
Thousands. And he paused it for how long?
12 hours.
I mean, he can't. He's not in control if Hamas takes a pop shot on one of the Israels.
Israel was the one taking
That's
the pop
what happened.
shots.
So a Hamas member didn't shoot a rocket at one of their military.
Yeah, sir.
during
Again,
the
the war's
ceasefire
not
during-
over. They're still fighting.
But they tried, and a terrorist shot a rocket at one of the
Biden
troops, did they
also
not?
tried, sir. You don't get a Nobel Peace Prize for trying and failing
Biden
because you don't
tried?
understand the region.
Oh my God! Dude.
But how many hostages?
Biden didn't do
How many
anything but
hostages,
sleep
sir?
during
How many
his
hostages
entire
released?
presidency.
How many hostages were released due to Biden's negotiations?
How many hostages were released due to Biden's negotiation? I don't know, and I know if he did.
140.
If he did,
140. How many have been released due to Donald Trump's negotiations?
how many billions of dollars did he give to release? Oh, didn't he release a literal terrorist to get Brittany Griner out of jail? Somebody who killed hundreds of people.
Wow, dude,
and
you
sold
can't stay on
millions
topic
of
for
dollars
2
in
seconds,
weapons.
can you?
Well, we're talking about hostages released, right? That's a good one
Sir,
to bring
that
up.
was
if we're bringing
to
stuff up.
Russia,
Oh
okay?
my God! So now
And
you're
the
gonna say, oh,
dude
that
was
a long
like
time
90
ago?
years old.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was. I don't know if
And
he was
why does
90,
that
but he was old as
matter?
shit.
Why does that matter?
Sir, Donald Trump
Wow,
released
so he was a little bit
5
older, so
sir,
it doesn't make him a
Sir,
terrorist?
Donald Trump released 5,000 Taliban soldiers that ended up attacking Bagram Air Base and killing 12 people.
I'll have to see that. I don't believe that for a second.
Well, you can look it up. It's when Donald Trump negotiated with the Taliban at Camp David on 9/11 to release 5,000 Taliban troops who ended up attacking fucking American soldiers.
And why did he do that? Trying to negotiate a peace?
Oh,
to
gotcha.
save
Oh,
lives?
gotcha.
How does that make him a bad person?
Gotcha. See, you see how fast this fucking changes, sir? If you say one fucking 80-something-year-old fucking terrorist dude was released
Brittany
back to
Griner from the United States
sir,
has nothing to do with
sir,
ending a war.
Sir, Donald
It's
Biden
insane.
releases one terrorist. You're like, oh, Biden's the worst. And I go, Trump released 5,000 terrorists. And you're like, well, why did he do that? Let's look at the context. You see how disingenuous
Yeah,
you are,
he
man?
was literally negotiating
You
a
see
peace
how
deal on a
disingenuous you
war.
are, sir? You see how
That's not
disingenuous you are?
disingenuous to
That
say
is disingenuous.
Trump was trying to end a war versus somebody releasing a terrorist.
And it got
or a
American
lesbian
soldiers killed. Are you happy about that?
insignificant. Oh, you want to talk about American
How many?
soldiers
Yeah,
getting
that
killed
person.
like the Afghanistan withdrawal?
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about the whole time, bud. That's what I've been talking about the whole time.
Wasn't that just the best withdrawal you've ever seen in your
Yeah,
life?
those
Gave up
people that
billions of dollars
sir,
worth of
those people that attacked that base and killed those Marines were the people that Donald Trump let out. They were the Taliban terrorists that Donald Trump let out. Those are the people that attacked the base.
Oh, so the whole Afghan. So okay. Oh my God. So okay. So Afghan. So if he wouldn't have released those people, that would have never have happened, huh?
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
100%. I'm sorry. Were there ghosts going to attack the base?
I guess those were every single Taliban fighter that we had, all 5,000 of them. I guess that was it. There wasn't anything else going on in that country before he released those people. If he even did. I'll have to look that up because I'm not 100% that.
Sir, I don't think you're 100% on
100%
much.
sure that's accurate. I mean,
it's funny.
Opinion.
It's funny how many
you're literally comparing
it's funny,
a
sir.
terrorist for a lesbian here in the United States versus negotiating.
Oh, so if she was straight, it would have been okay.
Peace deal on a war.
So if she was straight, it would have been okay.
What? If she was straight? No, I'm saying. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, because she would have actually contributed something to society. What does a lesbian actually contribute to society? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They don't have kids. What is she? At least a straight woman would be contributing to society by bringing up contributing human beings to actually do something in this country. Besides disrespecting another country and taking cannabis oil, lesbians, you know for a freaking fact that they don't allow that stuff.
Hey, lesbians have kids.
Oh, so now you're going to be rude? We're supposed to.
Yes, I'm the one being rude. That's right. I'm the one being rude. Not that you just said that an entire group of people don't contribute to society because they don't have kids, but I'm the one being rude. Yeah, you nailed it. Lesbians have.
I'm not lying. That's
dipshit,
not a lie.
Dipshit. Lesbians have kids.
Oh, now I'm a dipshit because I'm being honest?
Lesbians have kids. All the time.
Huh?
Lesbians have kids all the fucking time.
And you think that's actually good for society for little kids to be brought up with two women raising them? You think that's actually good?
Yeah.
How is that good?
How is it bad? It's no. Oh my God! Not two women. How could we let people that you feel inferior? Right? How could they possibly raise kids?
It's not about my feelings. These are facts.
It's facts that women are inferior. That's what you're saying.
Domestic violence.
So it's
fact.
Facts that friggin' women are inferior. That's wild.
That they don't bring up kids and better than a mom and dad household.
So what about all the mothers out there that are raising kids by themselves because the dads left?
Yes. Any single women with no man in the household, those kids have a worse off chance. Yes, that is an actual fact.
Mm. Yeah, you're an idiot, by the way.
So many. What am I just supposed to lie? And
no, you're just a misogynistic. You're a misogynistic, bigoted asshole, dude. And I'm just tired of hearing it. To be completely honest with you. The fact that you just said that you are totally okay with the United States. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir.
Just tell me.
Sir, I'm not listening to you. Be quiet. Thank you.
All right.
The fact that you said, that it would be totally okay to trade a terrorist for a straight woman and not trade a terrorist for a gay woman is about the most fucking bigoted, fucking sad thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay.
I didn't say either one was okay.
Yes, you did. You literally just did.
To trade one for the other.
You literally just did. You said it was horrific that they traded the terrorist. And it was horrible that we traded the terrorist for a lesbian. And I said, so if she's straight, then it's okay. And you said yes.
We don't negotiate with terrorists. You would have been better.
Not with gay women, apparently. But a straight woman,
one would be better for me. Again, I didn't say it was okay. You said
You
which one would be
literally
better.
did. Okay, sir. The fact that you think
All right.
that lesbian women can't raise kids
Mhm.
when fucking straight people can't fucking raise kids. Okay, we see
I
that in
didn't
the
say they
fucking
couldn't
country,
raise
right?
kids. I said they have a better off chance
Yeah.
in a
Sorry,
nuclear
sir. Actually,
household.
most of the fucking people that I see shooting up shit in the United States were raised in traditional family households with a mom and dad in them. Okay, not coming from lesbian
No,
or
they're
gay
not.
couples. Actually, not true.
Everybody
But
can
anyway,
Google
sir,
this at
I'm
home. They're
talking.
all
I'm
trans.
talking.
They're
I'm
all gay. You
talking.
can look up the school shooters.
I'm talking.
They,
I'm
the
talking.
kid that just shot Carly
I'm
Kirk. Okay, the talk. You
Grew
won't
up
give me
in a
chance to
traditional
talk.
family household, in a Republican Christian household with his mother and father. That was a right-wing household.
The guy that shot Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Yes, I understand that, but I'm saying just because
If he had had two moms, he wouldn't have done it.
just because you're raised in a certain household doesn't make you what you are today. There's plenty
Really?
of people that were raised in.
Wow, you're right, sir. Just because you're raised in a particular household doesn't mean it makes you who you are today. So if you're raised in a particular household that happens to be two
Sir, when I
women,
use
two
the
moms,
terms
instead
like better
sir,
off,
I'm
better
talking.
chance,
So
better
literally, if you're raised in a household where it's two moms, okay, instead of a mom and a dad, that does not affect how you're going to grow up, because you can still grow up to be a good person or a shitty person regardless. Okay, so I'm very happy that you got there. Okay, you literally just pretzeled yourself back into proving yourself wrong. Okay,
which means he had a trans lover, dude. A trans.
What
he
is
was obviously in the
fascism?
LGBTQ plus.
Hold on. Did you say it was, sir?
Huh?
Did you say fascism was written on the bullets because he had a trans lover?
He said catch fascist on the bullet.
Yeah, and what does that have to do with anything?
We all know who says stuff like that, man. Why do you keep pretending like this stuff isn't happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
Every single
sir,
school shooter,
I also,
every single one.
Sir, I'm straight as can be. Also, don't like fascism
or gay. You can look
sir,
this up.
I'm straight as a freaking arrow, and also don't like fascism.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you? What, I don't understand what your point is, but okay, congratulations. Neither do I.
He was saying gamer stuff on there. You ever gamed?
Yeah, I've gamed.
Oh, well, terrorist.
I don't understand your point. The bullet literally said, "Hey, hey, fascist catch."
It also literally had gamer fucking quotes on there. It also says if you read this, you're gay.
I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, sir, okay,
that doesn't negate the fact.
Yes, you're right. It does not negate the fact, sir. But just like you could be a gamer and go kill someone, okay, or somebody can be anti-fascist like me and go kill someone, okay, or somebody could be dating somebody that is freaking not cisgendered and go kill someone, okay, doesn't mean that that is the reason why they fucking did it. Okay? That doesn't, that just because one exists and the other one exists doesn't mean that the two have to coexist within each other. Okay, that is a causation versus correlation fallacy. And the reason why you're doing that is because you're afraid of trans people. You're obviously afraid of gay people. I'm pretty sure every color on the fucking rainbow you're fucking afraid of. Okay, and you're so terrified of them that you want to blame trans people for doing stuff. But hey, when a MAGA guy goes and shoots up an entire church, you don't blame MAGA, right? You don't blame people that look like you. Oh, that person was just disturbed. Oh, that's all it was. He was just disturbed, right? You don't blame his political ideology or his sexual orientation on it. All right. But if somebody does something against the right, then all of a sudden it's about. All right, cool. Well, if that's the case, sir, then there are a lot more MAGA men out there fucking shooting people.
The FBI does investigation.
I'm still talking.
It doesn't matter who
I'm still talking, sir. If that's the case, then there are a lot more MAGA men that are shooting up fucking people and shooting up schools and shooting up churches than there are trans people doing it.
You can literally Google it that 9 out of the last 10 school shooters, 9 out of the last 10 assassinations have all been homosexual or trans.
That is not true.
Regardless of where they grew up,
that's
or what
not
color
true.
They are, or anything
that is
else,
not true in the slightest.
It's 100% factual.
That is so fucking false. It's not even fucking funny.
Yeah, the left tries to cover it up, but if you do your own research, you can find this out for yourself. They've all
Awesome, sir.
been
Where can I
either
research? Where can I find this
homosexual or
then? Where can I find this? Let me put it. Where can I
just
find it?
Google it.
Just Google it. Okay,
The
cool.
last 10 school shooters. Yeah, there you go.
Sure, I'll Google it.
Trans or homosexual.
All right. And I typed it in and I put it on the screen. I clicked on the first thing that popped up, and its first thing says few mass shooters have been transgender. How many mass shooter question? How many mass shooters have been transgender? The number of transgender mass shooters in the United States varies depending on how you look at mass shooting is defined, but it's relatively small. The Gun Violence Archive, which uses a broader definition, lists 5 mass shootings by transgender or non-binary people since 2013.
Okay, and what about homosexual? Because
that's less than 1% of the mass shooting it says happens. Interesting.
How many mass shootings have there been? It just said 5 of the last ones.
5 since in the last 12 years.
5 mass shootings? That's actually a lot. I can't even think of how many mass shootings there are.
As of November 8th, which is today, there have been 365 mass shootings in the United States this year. This year.
Okay.
There have been 369 this year, and there have been 5 trans or non-binary people in the last 12.
The guy that just shot Kirk isn't considered transgender. He's considered homosexual, dude. They're going to freaking skew that stuff in Google.
Even gotcha. If you look up, so you tell me to Google it. So gotcha. No, sir, just be clear. Sir, just be
the BLM riots.
Sir, they don't consider that. Sir, I didn't ask to Google it. I didn't ask to Google it. I asked you for a source. You told me to Google it. You don't get to say that you don't get to tell me to Google it when I ask for a source and then get mad at what Google says.
It's insane.
You told me to look there.
If you don't want me, transgender.
If you don't want me to do that, then give me someplace where I can find it. Sir, your fear of trans and gay people is unwarranted. Okay? I know they scare you.
It's not a fear.
I know they scare you, sir. Sir, I know they scare you. And most likely it's because you have some repressed feelings that you're not really sure how to deal with at the moment. Okay? And I understand that. Okay? That can be rough for people. I advise therapy. All right? But what I don't advise...
You like the current direction of everything going on right now? Like, you like all this stuff? You don't want it to go back to how it was? You're shushing me like you're making a big point. I just want everybody to look at all.
No, I'm shushing you because you're acting like a child.
Complete third world country.
I'm shushing you because you're acting like a child. Okay? What I was saying, sir, is you have some repressed feelings that you probably need to deal with. Okay, on your own with a therapist. Okay, but trying to blame trans people and gay people for your problems is not going to help fix it. Okay, you are obviously incredibly homophobic. All right, and I don't know, maybe that's a Texas thing, right? Because you not only have tried to blame trans and gay people for mass shootings, but also said, you know, that we shouldn't bring somebody back to the United States who's an American citizen because of their, you know, sexual preference, right? Which is very, very sad. Okay, but no, you're not saying anything. No one can hear you. So what I'm going to say, sir, is I hope you have whatever day you deserve. Okay, I hope you have whatever day you deserve because you obviously are having a rough time. All right, so go get a therapist. All right, and have whatever day you deserve. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let them all in.
All right. Bye-bye now.
All right. Take care.
Woo! That was a rough one. Anyways, y'all give me 2 seconds. Holy shit. 1 sec. Sorry about that. That was a exhausting call. That was an exhausting call. Holy shit. Wow. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here on a Saturday, almost afternoon. We're almost on a Saturday afternoon. That was a very exhausting call. We're gonna hit up a few of the super chats real quick that I missed during that call, and then we're gonna move on to the next caller and keep this thing going. So I really appreciate that. Y'all stick around. Really appreciate you guys being here. Freddie, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, oh my God, I don't know how you do this. Cult members are the most annoying people on the planet. Thank you so much, Freddie. Lots of coffee. Coffee, it's just coffee today. Francesca, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Can we get big W's to chat for Francesca for the 5 gifted? Thank you so much. Latifa says, quick question. Do you see the super chats while chatting with callers? Have you thought about letting us send super chat questions while they're talking? Yes, you can send super chat questions while you're talking. And if I see them, I will put them up and ask them. I don't always catch every single one of them. It depends on like how deep I am into the conversation. But I do try. If I see a question, I will actually throw it up there. Or if I find a comment that's really funny towards the guest, I'll also throw it up there. So yes, I will do that and do that. And so yeah, if you'd like to send a super chat during that, please do. Francesca also for the fighter said, today is my birthday and I thought I'd give a present instead of ask for one. That man needs to join RIF. Learning is a defense from dictatorship. 100%. 100%. But can we get a big happy birthdays in the chat for Francesca? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Francesca. Happy birthday to you. All right, how to do an expedited one. Thank you so much, Francesca, and happy birthday. Joshua, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said the AI bubble and housing bubble is going to decimate Americans. This guy is so incredibly inconfident and willfully so. I'm almost certain he couldn't recite a single point you made. I don't think he could pronounce half the points I made. I don't think he can even pronounce them. But yes, AI bubble is going to hurt us a lot. Definitely is. But thank you so much, Joshua. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $20. Latif, thank you so much for the $5 that him and Mark Zuckerberg made up an amount right on TV in real time. Are you serious? Yeah, they're just making up numbers. They're just making up numbers the whole time. It's wild. Brett, thank you so much for the $10. Says, when is the Art of the Deal guy going to work out something to reopen the government? Keep doing great work. He's so good at deal making that he's refusing to try to make a deal. Really, really good. I am the best deal maker ever, which is why I don't know how to make a deal. Pretty impressive. Oh my goodness. Itchy says those Texas folks have more guns than teeth and more bullets than brains. There's only 2 type of people from Texas. Gina, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Lovely God said this caller has constantly pivot when proven wrong. It shows how ill-informed he truly is. He's cosplaying as someone with intelligence. Not even well, which is crazy. Shadow, thank you so much for the corgis. Tatted said, so are masks easier to see out of? I know in Django it was hard. This dude's goalpost was on a Roomba. I can't see shit out of this thing. Radstorm says, caller's logic, abusive male-female parental household is greater than 2 women raising a kid. Great logic, caller. My single grandma raised me right. My grandma also raised me. W's at chat for grandmas raising their grandkids. Hell yeah. Mel, thank you so much for the $5. That caller is just upset he hasn't found the...
It's insane.
Let's leave that for a second. Wake Up said the last guy told the biggest lie I've ever heard in a long time. Really impressive and validates his other points. Sorry. Mel got me for a second. Jess says, why get therapy when you can just call in and use Polly as a therapist? Also, my cat is named Bernie Sanders Sinclair, and he says hello from y'all from Texas. Yeah, apparently I don't get paid enough to be a therapist. Okay, I don't get paid enough. Trust me, I don't. Angie says not even a therapist can help. Freddie said that guy was really dug in hard. Some will need help coming back. Yep, a lot. Chris's mom says, I blame the Afghanistan war withdrawal on both parties. I voted for Kamala because Trump's choices has made it hard on Biden. Absolutely. That's a great take. I did. Trump choices did make it very, very hard on Biden. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. Josh, thank you again for the corgi. Don, I'm seeing all the jewels come in. Thank you so much. Can we get huge W's in the chat for everybody who just supported there? I really appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for sticking around while I go through the super chats and stuff. Sorry it took a little longer than normal, but we're going to get right back into conversation, right back into some banter over here. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate that. Also, Carolyn over on Venmo, thank you so much for the $10. Said, my grandson is raised by two moms and he will probably grow up to be a better man than that guy will ever be. Yeah, I think that's what it says. I've noted it up. Yeah, better man than that guy will ever be. Well, that's in truth, okay, that's a pretty low bar. Okay, that guy was kind of shitty. So
It's insane.
pretty low bar on that one. I'm not gonna lie. All right, phone lines are back open. We're gonna keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Whew, that call went a long time. I haven't done a call. I don't think actually I did two. I did an hour-long call the other day too, didn't I? I did an hour-long call the other day. That's crazy. I don't really be doing those too much. VJ, you're right. There are 222 people in my landscape live alone and only 86 likes. I don't like that at all. All right. So let's see if we can get those likes up. I appreciate that. It's Mark. Just probably want to cracker, I guess is what I'm supposed to say. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's so wild. Maybe I think I was on a call. I had a whole shit ton of callers while that guy was calling, and now they've all disappeared. But that's okay. We'll see if somebody pops up real quick. Try to get into some more conversation. It is funny whenever my calls just stop. I think we covered every single topic possible to talk about in that conversation. I think we hit every possible topic in that conversation. It was pretty wild. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
45.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. Why would you do that?
I just love touching kids, and I think us pedophiles got to stick together.
All right. Well, you should probably go get turned into the police by somebody. Yeah. Very strange thing to say when, just to randomly call someone and tell them that. Why voicemail? Because I was on a call, ding dong. Do you guys not understand that if I'm on the call, it goes to voicemail? See, like right now, I'm not on a call. So now you can call. See how that works? Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Better than your reception.
Oh, is it pretty bad? My bad. How is it now?
I guess a little better. How old are you?
21.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. Now, why would you do that?
Well, I think that, it was, to me at least, everybody doesn't agree, but to me it was the better option that we had in the most recent presidential election. So I feel like I'm supporting on the sense that that was the current best option at the time to choose between. I feel like also his foreign policy is not really as awful as you make it out to be. There's a lot of extraneous circumstances that go on that affect things out in the world that have nothing to do with America's influence or American problems. And I think that he's slowly, but at least delivering on promises that he made during the presidential campaign. So
Awesome.
I would just go with that.
So besides closing the border, which was his fault to begin with, what promise has he actually delivered on?
other than closing the border that was his fault to begin with?
Correct.
Well, hold on. Let's just preface, how was the border being open
We
Donald
we
Trump's
we,
fault?
we can go back to that. That's totally fine. What else has he delivered on?
Okay, what else has he delivered on? The economy is better than it was during Biden's term.
Under what
I mean, you
metric?
can literally, I don't know, my groceries are cheaper, my gas
They
is
are not.
cheaper, my
It
rent
is not.
cheaper. It is.
Well,
I mean, we can go
maybe
back
you get
to
really
that.
good deals, but across the United States, gas prices are up, and they've been up his entire presidency, and consumer prices are up significantly, especially groceries.
And I don't live that. So, I mean, you can say that, but I guess we live in different areas. You must live somewhere.
No, I'm not talking about my grocery store, sir. I'm talking about what the Donald Trump administration is reporting, okay, as far as grocery prices. The Trump administration and their BLS, that is headed by somebody that Donald Trump put in, is reporting, okay, that grocery prices are higher across the United States on average, okay, significantly higher than they were when he took office.
Okay, on average, where is the majority of the average going to be coming from? Densely populated cities. What are all of the densely populated cities run with? They're run with Democrat, more so.
Sir, first of all, get closer to your microphone. Second of all, okay, Donald Trump is the president of those Democratic cities. And Democratic cities also don't really control inflation. Okay?
They don't control their own prices in their cities?
Correct.
Really?
Again, get closer to your microphone. I can't hear you.
They absolutely do control their own prices because they control the laws that go on in their cities as far as state laws, county laws, city laws.
Yeah.
All of that.
Who creates
goes
laws, sir?
lower, the Congress.
Congress does. Okay. And what city has their own Congress?
No cities have their own Congress.
Sir.
Every-
This is your last chance. Either get it to where your microphone is consistently at your mouth so I can hear you, or I'm moving on.
Is this better?
Yes. Now keep it there.
Yeah. Every city has its own city laws, regardless of what Congress's laws are. As long as they follow federal law, states are allowed to do whatever they want law-wise, as long as they are in coherence with federal law.
Correct.
That's why you have
States can. Cities can't.
Yes, they can. You have county laws and city laws.
No, you have county ordinances as city ordinances. Laws come from the legislature of the state.
And then are again interpreted and interpolated by cities.
Did you say interpolated?
Yes. Yes. Do you not think that laws happen because of interpolation from other laws, whether it be federal laws, things in our Constitution? Do you think laws don't work that way based off of interpolation?
Is this a fucking joke?
No, laws do work that way. That's why we have different gun laws, gun restrictions in different cities, different states, different areas, because it's interpolation. I mean, why are you heavy sighing? That's just a fact. Laws can be applied differently due to different interpolations. That
Interpolation is not a word. Why do you keep saying it?
interpolation is. I'll look it up for you right now and define it for you.
All right, go ahead and do that. It's a word. I've never heard that word. If it is a word, I believe like that, like maybe interpolation. Let's see.
Interpolation is the process of estimating unknown values within a range of known data points or inserting new material into existing work.
Oh, okay. Guess it is a word. I've never heard that word before in my life. Yeah. It doesn't fit what you were saying at all, but that's fine.
The same thing as interpreting.
Again, I can't hear you.
It's just a different word for interpretation.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the definition right now. It is not a different word for interpretation. You might have meant interpretation.
I mean, I can use either. They're interchangeable.
They are not. But that's okay.
Interpolation is literally just the math equivalent of interpretation. Just
But
a
we're
math
not talking about math. We're talking about laws.
I know, that's just my jargon because I come from a very math-based field. My bad.
Okay. Well, I think
But anyway,
your microphone needs some
laws
interpolation.
can be interpreted. Sorry, let's just get right back to that now that we've gotten over the whole word problem. Do you think laws are not able to be interpreted?
Laws are interpreted, and who interprets laws?
Well, it can be Congress, it can be states,
Wrong.
it can be
Wrong.
governors, it can be presidents.
Wrong. Wrong.
Then who interprets laws?
The judiciary. That's their job.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
But then
The
why do
legislative branch creates the laws. The judicial branch interprets the laws, and the executive branch executes the laws. Okay, that's why we have three different branches. And here's a little fun part for you too. States also have that exact same thing, right? Where they have a legislature, they have an executive, and they also have a judiciary who interprets those laws. But cities don't have any of that stuff because they don't have the ability to create their own laws.
No, but ordinances are effectively just laws.
Yeah, but
Right.
ordinances do not bring up grocery prices in a city.
They certainly do.
Okay, name one ordinance that's done that.
Well, I mean, dude, you just have to think about it logically. Any city ordinance that is going to favor a more social, like economic stance, where you provide a lot of social safety nets and a lot of benefits, whether you agree with that or not, I mean, we just have to have the logical conclusion that when you're giving a lot of your state's money to social benefits programs.
No. Now we're back on states. No. See, I'm not talking about states. I'm talking about cities. You keep saying cities, and then when I ask you about cities, you start talking about states.
I'm getting there, man.
No,
Where
just
does
get
the
straight
city-
there, dude.
Where does the city's funding come from? It comes from the state government.
Correct, because states create laws, because states have the ability to tax. So states have the ability to increase and decrease inflation, not cities. That is the entire point that I'm making.
And when you, when you have a lot of cities that are running social welfare benefits and a lot of social safety nets and policies and things of that nature that give money from their constituents and citizens to these more socialist-esque, they're not exactly socialist, but I'd say they lean closer to it than not doing it. These more socialist-esque safety nets.
Well,
it creates.
Let's just. I'm kind of over this conversation because it's ridiculous how you can't stay on topic. Joe Biden had all of those blue cities when he was president, also, and grocery prices were lower. Okay.
How are you going to say I can't stay on topic when you interrupt me every time I'm trying to make a point?
Well, really, honestly, I keep interrupting you because your fucking phone reception is so fucking annoying. Okay? I don't know whether you're on MAGA mobile or something, but hearing you talk for too long is ridiculous. Okay?
On AT&T.
All right?
I'm in normal.
So what I'm going to do since you're tired of me cutting you off, I'm just going to move on to somebody that has better reception or a better phone or somebody that's off of Boost Mobile, okay?
You have nothing that you can beat me in an argument with. So you
cool. Then go buy a new phone and we'll test out that theory, okay?
It's proven.
Jesus fucking Christ. That was so annoying. Holy shit. Go get a new fucking phone and we will test out that theory. Sound good? Jesus Christ, bro. Pay your fucking cell phone bill or something. Get higher than freaking 50 gigs download on your fucking internet. Jesus Christ, that was fucking annoying. Sorry, that was so annoying, dude. And he kept going away from it and towards it too. Like, Jesus. Jesse, thank you so much for the $5 super set. Just to be clear, the previous caller was not joking. That's literally the MAGA base. If you're a MAGA and you aren't a PDF file, then you're an anomaly. Kind of true. Kind of true. Not gonna lie. Yeah, dude. He must have got that phone directly off of Donald Trump's website. That was so bad. Someone said that's how he affords groceries. That's funny. That's really funny. He said, I'm in a rural red town and my groceries have gone up. Yeah, because groceries have gone up for everybody. I don't know what these people are that are just like, oh, my grocery prices are down. Like, in what world? In what world are they down? Your grocery prices are not down. Grocery prices aren't down anywhere. Okay? They're not. If you think they are, you're lying to yourself. Hello, how are you?
Why the fuck you look like a Pajit, nigga?
Like a what? Bro, stop being a whole bitch. If you're coming to talk shit, then come talk shit. Why are you over here just fucking yelling stuff? If you're gonna talk shit, come talk shit. Don't run away like a little bitch. Don't talk about it, be about it. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Awesome. Do you still live at home with mom and dad?
No, I do not.
What year were you born?
2006.
All right. You still support Trump?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
From his border policies to peace in the Middle East, man. Why
Yeah.
don't you support him?
Awesome. So there's not peace in the Middle East, so that was easy.
Okay. To working for peace in the Middle East. Look at the hostages released. Biden didn't move anything in the Middle East. Trump has brokered multiple peace deals.
Literally, Biden had 140 hostages released. Donald Trump had 20.
How was Biden's Afghan pullout?
Not great, but I don't know what that has to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Biden 140, Trump 20.
So what would you like to debate about?
Yeah, the fact that Joe
immigration,
Biden had more hostage released than Donald Trump, and Donald Trump did not create peace in the Middle East. What exactly we're talking about is what I would like to talk about.
You just declared two facts. So what?
Yeah, so you're saying Biden's better then?
No, absolutely not.
Well, if your judgment for Donald Trump's foreign policy being good is the number of hostages released, then
No, that's not. I was just mentioning one part of it.
all right. So what are you talking about as far as Donald Trump creating peace in the Middle East? What are you? What's your qualification for that?
Abraham Accords.
The Abraham Accords. Okay, what do the Abraham Accords do?
Biden didn't pass a piece of legislation for a foreign law close to that.
Yeah, Joe Biden can't pass a piece of foreign legislation. Okay, because that doesn't exist.
Okay, a peace deal.
Abraham Accords was not a peace deal.
Yes, the Abraham Accords was a peace deal.
All right, what did the Abraham Accords do?
They made peace between Israel and the UAE.
And who?
The UAE.
So the UAE and Israel were at war before that?
Not at war, but there was conflict.
There was conflict between UAE and Israel. Oh, that's interesting.
Israel and I think Sudan and Morocco were also in those. So forming a coalition, and other countries are also lined up to join.
To join
So what is
to join the Abraham Accords?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not what the Abraham Accords did. That's not even close, dude.
Okay, explain to me then.
It was a free trade deal for the most part.
For the most part, what's the other part?
Like the moving of the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
That's a location change.
Right, that was in the Abraham Accords. That's why I said and other stuff.
Yes, one small part of it.
Yes, that's why I ignored it, dude. I just said and other stuff. You're the one who wanted me to dig into the other stuff. Okay. I was talking about the trade deal. What it did is it really opened up trade in between them, right? And that part was like fine, except for it was one of the largest catalysts to October 7th.
Yes, and it also like normalized relations between Israel and many of these Arab states.
Yeah, I just said that.
That's good. Yes. Yes. That's good. Yes.
Yeah, it also was one of the
Like,
freaking
some
biggest
part of the
catalysts for
Abraham
October
Accords-
7th.
What?
It was also one of the biggest catalysts for October 7th.
One of the biggest catalysts for October 7th was the Abraham Accords?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
Yeah, so countries like Saudi Arabia had an agreement with Palestine that they would never open into like any type of like free trade agreement or good relations with Israel until Palestine was given a free state, right? And so what the Abraham Accords did is it actually bypassed that, right? It actually created those relations between countries like Saudi Arabia and Israel while leaving Palestine completely out of it, not giving them any type of status, which actually created a bunch of actually fear and anxiety within Palestine and Hamas that made them fearful that all of their allies were now backing away from them, and that's really what drove their need to commit that horrific attack.
Do you think Palestine is a self-sufficient state?
Currently, no.
Oh, okay. How about 2 years ago?
No.
Okay, how about...
So what's your point?
So why in the world would you be in support of the opposite of Palestine being a free state?
Because the reason why they're
Or an
not
independent
capable
state.
of being a free state is because of Israel.
That is absolutely not true. It's because their own government is corrupt. Look at Israel's pullout.
There
They
are
still have
tons of corrupt
citizens
governments that
being
are
murdered
self-sustaining
every
states.
day.
There are tons of freaking self-sustaining states that have corrupt governments.
How did Israel's pullout of Palestine go?
It
How's
didn't.
that going for the Palestinians?
It didn't.
Yes, they did withdraw to a line.
Yeah, they didn't pull out of Palestine.
Maybe not fully.
That was actually
but
part of
how's it going in
that was actually part of the agreement is that they would stay there.
How is it going in the places that Israel pulled out of? You've seen the clips.
Probably
How did it
pretty
go?
bad considering the fact that they caused the
No,
problem.
You've seen the clips. How did it go?
I don't know what you're
Objectively bad.
talking
You had
about.
Hamas-
I'm trying to answer your question, but you're just kind of rambling.
Okay, go ahead.
I said probably pretty bad because that's what happens when you go in and destroy a place and then pull out. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Iraq. Look at Libya. Look at all the times the United States has gone into different countries, completely destroyed it, destabilized the region, and then pulled out. It's always been bad.
How was Afghan doing before the U.S. came in?
In which time?
They were already destabilized.
Which time?
Same with Palestine.
Which time? You know we've gone into Afghanistan multiple times, right?
Every time. The last time we were in there.
The last time we were in there, it was destabilized from the first time we were in there.
Okay, before the first time.
Actually, Afghanistan was
It was still
pretty
destabilized.
stable. Yeah.
No, it was destabilized. Let's
It was
look at
not.
Palestine. How was Palestine before? Really destabilized. You had
Sir,
Hamas
even if
running
it's
the place.
destabilized, doesn't change anything, sir. Being
absolutely does,
destabilized,
because they're
okay,
not
does not
protecting their own
change
citizens.
anything.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
Okay, Guatemala was
government is
destabilized. Does
not
that mean they're not a
stable-
free? Sir, Guatemala was destabilized 3 years ago. Does that mean that they're not a free state?
I didn't say they're not a free state. I'm
Venezuela
saying-
was also destabilized and had a corrupt government. Does that mean that they're not capable of being a free state?
I didn't say that.
Well, sir,
saying-
that's exactly
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
it's not
You're
gonna
saying
make
they
a
don't
great
have the
free state.
capability
You have
of
to-
being, sir, you're saying they don't have the ability to be a free state, right? Or a self-sustaining state because of corrupt government and destabilization. I'm naming other countries, okay, that are also destabilized, that also have corrupt government, and also are more than capable of being a self-sustaining state.
Yes, they should not be free states if they're murdering their citizens daily.
So
You are
does
correct.
Hungary. So does Russia. So does North Korea.
Okay, then they should not. Yes.
So is the
all
United
those
States at this
need
point.
intervention and should be fixed.
So is the United States at this point.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
The United States is not ran by a terrorist organization lining up citizens and shooting them.
Well, they're not ran by a
What do you-
terrorist
how is-
organization, but they definitely line up citizens and shoot them. That happens all the time.
Okay, so it's not the same. So what are you saying?
But you
about
never
the US?
mentioned ran by a terrorist organization, sir. You just said they're killing their own
What are you saying
citizens, and
about-
I said the people at the United States is doing that also.
Where's this happening at?
All across the United States every day.
Like through what facets?
Through many processes.
Through what facets?
Mostly really bad
Made the
policing.
claim. Let's see you support it.
Mostly really bad
Okay,
policing
those-
is really the worst part
Those
about it.
instances are very rare, and
It is not rare at all.
just about all accidental. That's not. Give me an example. Let's look at George.
It is
Floyd.
not
You think
all
there are children
accidental.
meant to kill- Most, I said. I didn't say all. Pay
Mm.
attention to what I'm saying.
You know that Donald Trump is saying that the U.S. military is going to be used as a training, or the U.S. ground and U.S. cities are going to be used as a training ground for U.S. military troops, right?
Well, if he did say that, and the United States military needs to be better at intervening with these places, then yes, there should be training. You want them to go in there with no training?
No. He's using the cities as the training.
When did he say this?
Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Where at? On what platform?
I don't fucking remember, dude. Look it up.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. He said that. He said he was talking about putting in freaking the United States Army, United States Marines into cities and doing that. He just said that on 60 Minutes. He actually wanted credit for not doing that. You know who else sends, like their military into their cities to harass and terrorize their citizens?
By harass and terrorize, you mean lower crime rates? Look at every place the National Guard has
Sir,
gone into. Guess what happens?
the
Crime rates
Nazis had a
drop.
low crime rate too. Should we become a complete fascist takeover government?
This is nothing like the Nazis. The
Sir,
Nazis
I'm
were-
not asking that. I'm saying just because you can lower your crime rate, okay? If you shot every person that committed a crime, that would also lower the crime rate. Should we do that?
We are not shooting everybody.
I
We are
didn't
going
say
and
that we
detaining
were,
those
sir. It's
who
called a
are doing things
hypothetical.
illegal.
Try to keep up. I said if we shot everybody who committed a crime on the spot, would it lower the crime rate?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, sir. So should we start doing that?
No, absolutely, but that's not what I was saying.
Yeah, but sir, what I'm saying is Donald Trump sending the U.S. military into cities may temporarily reduce the crime rate, but just because we are reducing the crime rate doesn't mean it's a good thing. There are many ways in the United
Like
States
that.
that we could reduce the crime rate. Okay, and it is not a good way of doing things. And one of those ways is sending the U.S. military and use it as a training ground for them pepperballing the press and pastors.
Okay. First of all, that's far and few instances. And second of all, what would be your solution to lowering crime rates?
Sir, the crime rates were already going down in these cities. He sent them into Chicago with a freaking when they had a 7-year low on their freaking gun violence and homicide rates. Chicago was, or freaking
Okay,
DC was at like a 30-year low on crime, and he sent the military in there also.
Okay, that's not still people are dying every single week. in
People
each
are
of those
still
places.
dying there.
And crime rates lower and drop off of a 5-year basis all the time. You have to look at the grand
Sir,
trend.
I said
What-
30-year
crime
basis.
increasing. Which I'm going to have to reject your premise there because I do not believe that to be true.
I don't need you to believe it for it to be true.
So how would you recommend that we lower crime rates in places that don't have?
Yeah, what is the number one driver of crime?
Poverty?
Correct,
Okay,
poverty.
sure.
So we fix poverty. We help people that are poor. That usually helps to reduce crime rate. What's Donald Trump doing right now?
He's doing many great things. What
Yeah,
do you-
he's ripping away
exactly-
food benefits. He's literally taking food away from poor people, right? Which is going to increase crime rates.
He is not ripping food away from poor people.
He is.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is.
But back to the original claim. So you think just tossing money at the problem is going to fix it? Raising taxes and getting more of these people. Do you think there could be a
I didn't say
cultural
any
problem?
of that shit, sir. I said Donald Trump is taking away food benefits from poor people. That is a
Getting back
fact
to our
right
main point
fucking
of
now.
lowering crime.
Donald
Can you-
Trump's big, beautiful
not
bill,
explain that?
sir, Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill was to remove 4 million people off of their SNAP benefits. And then currently, there are current funds that the Trump administration could use to fund SNAP. And he is choosing to withhold those funds that are specifically for that Okay. And when a judge ruled that he had to pay it out, he freaking went on top of that and said, no, I'm not going to pay it out, and appealed feeding people. Okay. So how do you reduce crime rates? You make sure that people don't need crime as much, because crime happens when people are poor and in poverty and can't eat and can't house themselves. And if you take away the benefits that are helping people not to commit crimes, it's going to create more crimes. If you give them more benefits in order to be able to get them off their feet so that they can become productive members of society, then crime reduces, which is how these cities have been reducing crime already.
Okay. So first of all, now that you're done talking, with the beautiful bill, why were millions cut off programs? Why?
So Donald Trump could give tax cuts to billionaires?
No. What exact policies did Trump induce which made people fall off it?
The big beautiful bill.
No. Like what part?
The part where he reduced the
Increased
funding on
amount of
SNAP
time people have-
and created higher
increased the
freaking
amount of
and
people-
created more paperwork in order to prove that you needed it.
Okay, so what is wrong with that? We are $38 trillion in debt. What is the matter with just having a little bit more proof, or simply saying you have to work this many hours in order to receive it?
You already had to work so many hours in order to receive it.
I know, but I believe it was like under 20 a week. I think Trump put it at 20 a week. Is that really that much? Come on, man. Should people working under 20 hours a week who are able bodies be able to still receive and suck off the government?
So like 6% of people are able-bodied, and all of them were already working.
Okay, guess what? How many people are on welfare?
So just to be clear,
How many
Hold
people are, wait.
on.
How many people
Just to
are
be clear,
about 40 million?
I just want to be really clear here. What you are saying, okay, is that people who are already working or disabled, okay, shouldn't get their health care or shouldn't get their food benefits. But instead, okay, we should send $40 billion to Argentina so that they get social programs, because that's what they're using it for. They're using it for their universal health care. They're using it for their food benefits. So while we concurrently already had a work requirement, while we concurrently already had people that were starving, right? And by the way, we've already taken away these benefits from people in red states. We already see how this doesn't work. From disabled people, from elderly people, from foster parents, from people that take care of disabled people, and from people that are already, for the most part, working unless there's a reason why they can't work. We should get rid of that in order to save tax dollars that we then send to Argentina so that they can feed their people?
Is there fraud and abuse within the EBT system?
Of course, there's fraud and abuse in every system.
Yes.
There's fraud and abuse within
is
the
it
police
bad?
system. Should we get rid of that?
Let me talk, please. I just let you talk.
Well, no, sir. You could have talked. You asked me a question. Is there fraud and abuse in there? Yes, there's fraud and abuse in our military. Should we get rid of that? There's fraud and abuse within
You are not letting me finish.
No, then don't ask me a question. If you got something to say, then say it.
Is it? No, but I would like to ask you questions.
Well, sir, if you're going to ask me a question, then you're going to get the full answer. Sir, if you're going to ask me a question, then you're going to get the full answer, not the first little freaking few words of it, and then move on because you heard what you wanted to hear.
Okay, could I go yes or no? Do you answer yes or no questions,
No.
or can you not do that? Okay. What I am saying is it is not bad that Trump increased the work amount of hours per week. And also, say it was 20 hours or so, and about how many people are on the system? I believe it's like 40 to 50 million-ish. That already cuts out like 3 million people who are working under the weekly hour threshold. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sir, I don't think the work requirement didn't change for SNAP. The work requirement changed, I believe, for Medicaid. Okay, all that changed for the SNAP benefits was the amount of paperwork you have to do in order to prove it.
So what's wrong with that?
Why would people that are already poverty stricken, that we're trying to get back on their feet, trying to make them productive members of society, giving them a temporary food benefit in order for them to get on their feet, how is it beneficial to now waste their time with more paperwork
To make sure
when they could be
actually need it,
working?
and they actually need to be sucking off
Because
the government.
they could be working. during that time. They could be trying to find better jobs during that time. They could be taking care of their families or whoever, they're taking care of in order to get the benefits during that time. But instead, now they're doing more confusing paperwork. Since when has more confusing paperwork ever helped anything?
It makes sure that they're getting if they actually need it.
No, sir,
And-
the old paperwork did that.
Snap
The
did
new
change. That
paperwork
thing
doesn't do any.
absolutely came out of
Okay,
your butt.
then what was wrong with the old paperwork? How about that?
I haven't looked super deep into it, but
No, if
changed
you're
the
telling me that the
paperwork, it
new
wasn't for no
paperwork
reason.
ensures it, that somehow filling out instead of 20 pieces of paperwork in order to get this benefit that proved everything, that showed your employment, that showed your disability, that showed all this sort of stuff. If you already had 20 pieces of paper that you needed to have in order to prove something, and now you need 40 to prove the exact same thing, I want to know why the 20 wasn't significant enough.
Okay, the paperwork just included more verification and document compliance, like hours worked, volunteer hours, education.
All of that was already proven
more.
in the first paperwork.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No, those are new
Yes, it
requirements.
was. No, I'm not asking your opinion on that.
No, they are not.
Yes, it was.
No, it is not.
Yes,
I
it
am
was.
on the Pennsylvania government website right now.
Oh, okay. And what does it say?
Recipients subject to expanded work or training requires must now document compliance, hours worked, volunteer hours, or training.
That does not say that it
For
wasn't there
example-
before.
Yes, it says new paperwork.
All right, give me your website. I'll look it up. Look it up. Let's see.
All right, it is. This is pa.gov. Let me find the exact. But I have a question for you.
No,
sir.
no
I'll let
questions.
you
What site are you on?
answer. pa.gov.
What's the name of the article on pa.gov?
SNAP work requirements. Some SNAP recipients.
Hold on,
must
I'm
now
reading.
meet work
I'm
requirements.
reading. Shh.
Oh, and if they are not, then they get free SNAP benefits for a 3-year period. That sounds quite generous, if you ask me.
I don't see anything different here whatsoever.
About.
All right,
ensuring
starting September
work
1st, 2025. Starting September 1st, 2025, the federal government rules on how long certain people can receive SNAP benefits are changing. Certain SNAP recipients will be subject, excuse me, subject to SNAP work requirements and time limits because of the federal budget bill passed by congressional Republicans and signed by Donald Trump. Under these new federal rules, to keep or become eligible for SNAP benefits, certain people will have to meet SNAP work requirements that include working, volunteering, or participating in an education or program for at least 20 hours a week. That already existed. These rules apply if you're between the ages of 18 and 54, do not have a dependent child under 18, and are considered physically and mentally able to work, which again was less than 6% of people that qualified for this to begin with, right? And
Those weren't in place before.
they were.
No,
They
were not.
100% were. All they're saying is that some more people might be eligible for having to do it. Okay. Watch, we can pull that up. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Let's see if I can find an old one. Yep. In 2024, able-bodied adults without dependents subject to work requirements must participate in work programs for at least 80 hours per week to maintain SNAP eligibility. The age range for this requirement is expanded to include those up to the age of 59 in some areas, with additional changes to exemption and waiver included. So there was already 80 hours a month that was required last year.
Okay, I see. Um, so what do you think is the solve to poverty? Because do you really think throwing money at the problem is the solve, or just always having them leech off the government, or what's your solution there?
Sure, no, that's not happening, sir. Dude, benefits like SNAP benefits are already on a time limit. You already have a work requirement, and you already had to continually recertify. It already happened. Okay?
Back to the point about fixing the states that are violent. You said we need to introduce more welfare for them.
We need to make sure that strong social safety nets exist for people to be able to get back on their feet without resorting to crime.
Like what?
Like SNAP benefits. There's one.
So you're saying we need more
There's
than
one.
1 in 8 American on.
What?
We need more SNAP benefits, is what you're saying.
I think we need all sorts of different types of safety nets. We need to have more SNAP
Okay,
benefits.
so-
We need to have, I think universal health care would go a very, very long way in decreasing crime in this country, right? Especially since that's like the number one reason for like detrimental debt in the United States. I think that, we should expand actually our food programs to make it where more people are eligible for them because again, that's
Like
helpful, right? We need to increase social work. We need to increase oh my God, so many different programs. I think we need drug reduction programs, right? Ones that actually decriminalize, addiction. We need to create more homeless shelters and more ability for people not to be on the street and having to resort to different crimes like that. Like, I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Who's paying for these?
Huh?
Who's paying for these?
We are.
Who's paying? So you want our taxes to increase? Is what you're
Free
saying.
school lunches, free VPK,
Many
free
states already
preschool,
have
free childcare. Sir, who said your prices have to increase? Donald Trump just did, between both of his terms, I believe, he has done like what? A freaking 20-something% reduction on corporations on their taxes, giving rich people tax cuts. Currently, we're paying more taxes and the rich people are paying less.
Nope, that is absurd. The top 1% pay 50% of taxes.
That is
What are you talking
incorrect,
about?
first of
They
all.
are already
Okay,
being taxed
sir, first
enough.
of all, sir, that is incorrect. Okay, and not in any way true. Okay, and even if it was true, sir,
that is irony about it. You can
sir,
look at that.
sir, thank you. First of all, second of all, okay, even if it was somehow true, all you're saying is, oh, Jeff Bezos only pays a 1% of his taxes, okay, which is worth more than my 20%, which is still fucking ridiculous. But it's not true regardless.
tell me the
Sir,
averages.
no, stop
Tell me
talking.
the averages.
No,
The
stop
average person
talking.
pays about
No,
7%.
stop talking.
The top 1%.
Sir, I
pays
don't
about
understand if you, do you speak
20%, I
English?
believe it is.
Do you speak English?
Find me numbers.
Do you
Find me
speak
numbers.
English?
Don't just pull stuff out of your butt.
Cool. All right, do you speak English? Thank
I
you.
speak
Shut
English.
up.
I'm talking to-
Jesus Christ. I was not done with my point.
Okay, well, you're
Okay.
making a bunch of these.
See, but this
claims
is the
with
problem.
no
Sir,
evidence behind them.
sir, be quiet. This is why I don't talk to 19-year-olds usually. You guys have no self-control.
You have been interrupting me throughout this whole.
All right, I'm just going to mute you then. You're whining now. Jesus fucking Christ. What I was trying to say was, okay, Donald Trump is literally cutting the benefits out of these programs, cutting money out of Medicaid, he's cutting out of SNAP benefits, and using that to give large corporations tax cuts. Period. That is what happened in the Big Beautiful Bill. I'm not saying raise your taxes. I'm saying put the money where it belongs. Use the money that we are paying in taxes to actually help people, not to get tax cuts to rich people. Okay? If we just stop giving tax cuts to rich people, then all of the money that we're already paying in taxes could already go to social safety nets. That's all I'm saying. Maybe stop having a military that is freaking, that is $1 trillion fucking budget that's higher than the next like 10 countries combined. Maybe stop sending freaking $40 billion to Argentina. Maybe taking that money and instead of giving it to, again, rich people, corporations, other countries, okay, use that money actually for our own people. That's what I am suggesting.
Am I off mute now? Hello, am I off mute?
Yep.
Hello? Am I off mute?
Yes.
Okay. Question for you. When billionaires get tax cuts, is the government just straight up handing them money? Are they taking money from one policy and putting it in another?
Can you respond to what I said?
I'm responding right now.
No, you're not.
I like to respond to your questions.
You're not responding to what I said at all.
Okay. Then I'll
Your
just
question
say-
was, sir, you do realize that was my answer to your question, right? Your question was, so you just want them to raise our taxes. I said we don't have to raise the taxes at all. We just have to make sure that the taxes that we actually have are going to the right things.
You just said that he's taking money out of SNAP and giving it to billionaires. Money is not being given to billionaires.
No, it's what keeps the government running in place of billionaires paying their taxes.
That's not what you just said. They're taking money from SNAP and they're giving it to billionaires.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Not how-
I thought I was talking to somebody smart enough to understand what I was saying. I can rephrase. I apologize. Okay. When Donald Trump gives a 14% tax cut followed by an 8% tax cut to corporations, okay, that tax money still has to come from someplace. And he is taking it from poor people.
He's not taking it from. You just said he was taking money out of one program and putting it in another.
Sir, do you know how a budget works?
Why should billionaires have to pay more taxes when they pay the most taxes?
They don't pay the most taxes, first of all.
Yes,
Second of all,
yes,
sir,
they
no,
do. The top
no,
1%
no.
pays 50%.
It's not.
Richard
That's not
McLean,
true
you're
at
refuted
all.
with no
That's
evidence.
not even close to
Why
true.
don't you do a quick
Okay.
Google search?
I don't do quick Google searches because I'm not a Neanderthal and I actually research things.
Okay, well, what
Okay,
I'm telling you is,
but,
it's always
okay,
taken for Google
sir,
search. So tell
sir.
me what numbers you're using. Before you move on, tell me what numbers you're using.
I'm not interested because it's not my fucking
IRS
point,
data.
okay? And you're trying to straw man this argument.
I'm not. I'm trying to simply.
You're
talk about
trying
what's
to
going
straw
on.
man this
They're
argument,
just
sir.
America.
Sir, you are trying to straw man this argument, okay? Instead of just, and this is why you keep pausing and freezing when I just talk about why does not the money that we pay in taxes go to help regular everyday Americans and people that are less fortunate, people in poverty. That is what I am saying. And you're refusing to respond to that point, to argue about the percentage of money that billionaires pay in taxes.
We do give much money, and giving tax cuts to billionaires is not a bad thing
And how is it a good thing?
because it increases capitalism, helps jobs.
It does not.
Don't you think these people need jobs?
It is not.
Yes or no?
It doesn't do that. It simply doesn't do that. That is what's called trickle-down economics that has been debunked extenuously
not.
through the last 40 years. It absolutely has, sir. It
No, it
absolutely
has
has.
not.
Here, I'll give you an example right now. We are currently under a freaking huge tax cut for corporations. How are jobs looking right now? We're at the highest unemployment rate we've had in 4 years. We just had, I think, over 100,000 different job cuts, non-governmental job cuts in October.
You
So
have to also
where's
keep in mind that people-
all these jobs that are being created? Okay, where are all these jobs that are being created? We're in a tax cut, corporate tax cut right now, and I believe we had 100,000 non-governmental job cuts in October. I think we've had over 1 million just this year.
So, question for you: Why are people losing their jobs?
I don't
Why are
know.
people
They
getting
shouldn't be,
unemployed?
right? We should be getting so many more jobs. All of these jobs should just be exploding out of everywhere because of Donald Trump's corporate tax cuts, right?
I did not say that. I said it aids and helps capitalism.
Okay, if it aids it, then why am I not seeing the aid?
What?
If it aids it, then why am I not seeing the aid?
If it what's us?
If it aids us, then why am I not seeing the aids?
You're taking such a simple look at it. You have to remember that our country is billions in debt. Inflation is high. Our dollar is losing value. You can't just look at years and years.
Hold
of
on, hold on.
economic
Can you
buildup
just
and put it
repeat
all
what
in
you
one
just
person.
can you repeat what you just said? Sorry. You had, like
Which part?
just this you said I'm not looking at the whole big picture. What part of the big picture am I missing? Can you just repeat that?
Years and years of national debt building up, inflation building up, the dollar losing value, AI innovation. You're taking such a simple look when it's such a
No,
more
no.
nuanced topic.
I honestly just wanted you to repeat like all the things you're telling me about how bad Donald Trump's economy is doing, even though you're literally arguing that it's doing well. And now you're literally arguing. No, sir. Now you're literally arguing. Okay, that you're literally arguing. Okay, in your argument about how good Donald Trump's economy is doing, you're saying that we're losing jobs, and the reason why we're losing jobs is because the economy is so shitty.
When did I say that Trump's economy is great?
That's literally what we've been talking about the whole time. That
No,
was
you were just
literally
talking
your
about
original
building
premise. That was literally
that
your
was not my
original
original
premise, is
premise.
that the economy is doing so good. That was literally your original premise to this entire conversation.
That was not the premise.
Okay, bud.
Crazy how you're like 40 and can't even debate a 19-year-old.
It's crazy how you think this is a debate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is
So,
this is an
would you like
this
to
is
talk
an
about
this is an
legalization?
this is an intellectual like plum like I can't even say the word.
What are your? Yeah, I know you can't say the word. What are your ideas about illegal
You don't even know what word I was gonna say. What word was I gonna say?
I just knew that you couldn't articulate it.
Oh, gotcha. Pummeling. There it is.
So what's your?
I was trying to say plummeting for some reason.
You want illegal immigration right now?
Hmm?
What? Do you agree with everything ICE is doing, right?
Oh, wow. So you're just switching?
Yes, that seems to not be going.
So you're
anywhere.
you're conceding that that the economy is just horrible?
No, absolutely. Okay, question for you.
Well, I mean, you were just describing all the way it was horrible,
Does
so I
the
just figured,
economy-
you know.
Do you inherit an economy or no?
You do.
You do? Okay, so then you can succeed.
What economic metric is better right now than it was when Donald Trump took office?
Better right now?
Mhm.
Let's look at the stock market.
All right, you have the stock market. That's one.
Insane.
Do you have any other ones?
Oh, that's a pretty strong one right there.
All right, Donald Trump, when we had record highs in the stock market under the Biden administration, Donald Trump himself specifically said that the stock market was in no way a good judge of an economy.
I'm not. Am I Donald Trump? No.
Oh, gotcha. So Donald Trump says that it's not a good judge of a good economy, but you say it's a good judge of Donald Trump's economy.
Yes, absolutely.
So if that's the case, we had record highs under Biden. So therefore, Biden's economy was excellent also.
No, I didn't say that.
No, that's what I'm sir. If the stock market is a good judge of whether the economy is doing well, then we had record highs under the Biden administration. So therefore, we must have had a very good economy under the Biden administration, correct?
We also had all-time high inflation.
Oh, so now we're switching it up. So now
Inflation's
that
at an all-time
now
high
it's
right
not a good judge of the economy.
No, I'm just saying you have to look at more than just that. Inflation isn't great right now.
And
but
not
it's
even
moderate
well,
compared to
too.
Biden,
You know what I'm
it's
saying,
terrible.
Lovely? Like not even well.
What? What's inflation at right now?
3%.
That's compared to what? Biden's 9%?
No, it was 3% when he left office.
Biden's economic policy.
It was 3% also when he left office.
The stock, not at the end of office, you can't just judge what a president.
No, you're
does in
talking
office
about,
just
sir,
to
a
fill out the
handover of the economy, right? You're saying inheriting an economy. Donald Trump inherited 3%, and it's currently 3%.
But look at Biden's 9%.
Yeah. But then we're not talking about inheriting
So
it.
how
You're
do you
just talking about, at some fucking point it was bad. But are we talking about at some fucking point, or are we talking about what Donald Trump inherited?
Trump is 9 months into his presidency.
Good
Super
job.
early.
You can count and everything. I believe it's 10 at this point, but regardless.
9 or 10. you really can't judge too much about how the economy is doing with 9 months.
Gotcha. So we went from Donald Trump's economy is great to the economy's horrible and Donald Trump, Donald Trump has nothing to do with it, to now he hasn't been in to now all of a sudden. So now all of a sudden he's only been in 10 months. So the economy doesn't even matter because he hasn't even been in long enough to affect it.
If you put words in my mouth, of course you make yourself.
I like how we bounced all the way through this. Thank you so much, lovely. I like how we bounced through this like all the way too. Donald Trump's economy is amazing, right? And then when I start telling you the job numbers, it's actually Donald Trump doesn't have anything to do with it. And now all of a sudden we're at he hasn't even been in long enough to affect the economy. This is impressive. I like how far we've gotten down this line. This is like this is really impressive. Yes, you did. You 100% did.
No, I did not. I never said that.
You 100% did. It's quite amazing.
Okay, if you're not going to budge on this or even understand me on this, why don't we move on to something like
sure? No one understands you on any of this. What are you talking about? You're not saying anything coherent. In order for someone to understand, you would actually have to be making a point that matters. Okay, and you're not. You're just moving the goalpost whenever you get stuck in a spot. You just move the goalpost to a different spot, which is why you sound fucking ridiculous. Okay? That is why I was trying to say that this is not a debate, this is an intellectual pummeling. Okay? This is not even close, dude. You're not even attempting to actually make a legitimate point in any way, shape, and form. Anytime you're going through this conversation, all right, and you get called on anything, okay, you just move the goalpost to another place and then say I'm wrong. Okay, that's all that's happened this whole time. Okay, you've moved the goalpost and pivoted. That's it. All right.
You have been putting words in my mouth. I didn't say Trump's economy was great.
All right, bud.
I did not say that.
All right, bud. Well, why don't you go play with Legos or something? All right. Have a good Saturday.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right. Goodness gracious. In Traffic, thank you so much for the goat. I really appreciate that. And Francesca, thank you so much for the $3 super chat. I appreciate that. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you. We're going to move on to the next caller. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. I also have my little live gift goal, which is the only one I've had on TikTok and haven't even close to hit it, which is wild. So I appreciate that. Also, I do have super chats open, memberships open. If you guys like to become a member or gift memberships, it's also really important. I appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. Someone's like, you didn't have to say the Lego thing. You're right. I didn't have to say it. I did really want to, though. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
29.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why would you do that?
Just getting all those illegal immigrants out of here.
And why are they bothering you so bad? Why are you so afraid of illegal immigrants?
I'm not afraid. It's just a drain, man. I mean, my family was immigrants, but they did it the right way. It's just a
Where'd they
drain on the
immigrate from?
economy. My dad, Dominican Republic. My mom, all her family from Europe.
All right.
They're like European mutts.
And how did they do it legally? And when did they do it?
I don't know. Like, dad back in like the 90s. Mom's family probably back in like the 60s, I think.
Okay, awesome. And under what law did they do it legally? Thank you guys so much for all the corals. I appreciate that.
I mean, I don't really know the exact law from back then, but.
Or did they come here under
laws.
Dominican Republic? They could have easily come under here under refugee status.
Yeah, I think he did with my aunt.
Yeah. You know, Donald Trump just revoked 400,000 people under that same status.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. So, and Europeans definitely didn't come over here legally. You know that, right? They just came over here because we didn't have immigration law like we have right now. So you just kind of showed up on a boat and signed a paper and then you were here.
That's like more when we had like a need for it, right? Like, do we really have a need for all the illegals now? Like,
Absolutely.
My question is like, when would Democrats be happy with like, what number? Like 500 million illegals, a billion illegals? Like, how many illegals would satisfy the Democratic Party, right, to flood the country?
Well, sir, the Democratic
all our services.
The Democratic Party actually hasn't passed any policy to actually help undocumented immigrants come here. Actually, if you look at the numbers of deportations under the Obama and Biden administrations, they're both significantly higher than under Trump's administration.
But what about their stance on the southern border and just
Their
not really?
stance. Biden tried to
Yeah,
pass 4 different bills that to shore up the southern border and to stop it, and Republicans stopped him on every single one.
But it was so much more chaotic under them than it was with Trump. He seemed to have
Correct.
a
It
better
was.
handle on it.
Yeah. And it is really funny. Like it's just funny how like kind of like what short-term memory we have, right? Like as Americans. Like it's like people just forget that COVID happened. Right? It's really amazing to me how like people are like, "Oh, Trump was there. Things were less crazy." Then we have this giant pandemic that disrupts all like shipping lanes, the entire economy, destabilizes all of these regions, creates mass migration on multiple continents. And then Biden becomes president, and it's like, let's just forget all of that stuff, right? Let's just forget all of the disruption that COVID had, and let's just hyper focus on the fact that Biden was president, so it must have been him.
No, I see what you're getting at, but I mean, I don't think it means that we need to take a soft stance on the issue. I mean, we got to take care of our own people first, right? Like growing up, I loved helping homeless people, right? We hand out money, but we're too poor for that crap. How can we help other people if we can't even help ourselves first? That's my issue. You know what I mean?
Well, sir, if you want to help Americans first, I have no issue with that. We're not doing that, right? During this time of like mass migration or whatever you want to talk about, right? Under the Biden administration, we were doing more to help Americans than we are now.
How would you say that?
Joe Biden passed the largest infrastructure bill in American history, $1 trillion, $1.1 trillion. Actually, if you want to talk about it, that actually went directly into roads, bridges, airports, freaking fiber connections, freaking bridges, whatever you want to name, highways in the United States, went money directly to that. And things are still being built currently right now due to the funding that came from that, right? We had things like the Chips and Sciences Act that were creating hundreds of thousands of American manufacturing jobs that required nothing higher than a high school diploma and paid 6 figures on top of that, not to mention 16 million jobs that were created under the Biden administration. Okay, we had everything from the lowering of insulin costs to specifically policy that helped vets to get, better health care, right? The Biden administration was like almost singularly and hyper focused on domestic policy that actually helped Americans. And yes, there was an immigration problem, and then honestly, there still is an immigration problem that hasn't really changed, right? There was and is an immigration problem, and we needed to be able to fix that also. And then policy needed to be done in order to change that. But there's no democratic policy that just says, let's see how many undocumented immigrants we can get in here. It's saying, hey, we need better policies that are laws in order to enforce the southern border, right? Which the Biden administration tried to do, right? And also for certain people that have been here for a long time, that are working here, that are already, like paying taxes, paying bills, helping our economy keep running, we probably need to create some type of, amnesty and amnesty policy to be able to actually convert them from undocumented immigrants into
insane.
People that are legally here and part of our society.
No, I get that. Yeah, we do need to do better on like getting the illegals to be legalized if there's a proper reason for it, right? They're not a criminal. They actually have a asylum status that's legitimate, right? Those kind of things, right? I mean, I'm not a bad person. I don't think many people are bad people. Like, we got big hearts, but there's only so many people we can help, right? And then also, like, if we're helping the wrong people, if we're having a soft stance on the southern border like the Democrats, and just letting like anybody in, and then we're gonna have a raise in crime. And then there's more potential for like terrorist attacks, all that freaking jazz.
But sir, again, the Democrats didn't have a soft stance on the border, okay? There was just a fuck ton of people that showed up. Okay, like that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, man. It's not that the Democrats were like, "Hey, everybody's here, let's everybody in, like let's open up the floodgates and everybody just walk in the door." That's not what happened. You do understand that's not what happened, right?
No, I mean, okay, so we got to hold the line, right? I mean, we got to hold the line when it's an invasion like that. So, I mean, you could look at Poland, they're shooting people. Do I necessarily agree with that? But, no, you should probably take a stronger sense of force, right? Really display force when it comes to an invasion force coming at your border. and you're trying
We weren't being
to like invade your
invaded.
lands.
We weren't being invaded.
What you said it was a large group of people. What do you call that? What do you call a large
Mass
group of
migration.
people? And that's not an invasion. What's the difference between mass migration and invasion? What's the difference?
One comes specifically to do harm.
But how do you know they weren't there to do harm, right? Like the terrorists, the cells. What is this called? They call those cells, like the people that integrate themselves into other countries. I can't remember the name right now.
Sir,
and like
we had
sleeper cells.
We had sleeper cells well before this, and we still have sleeper cells. Those were there before. They're there now. They'll be there 10 years from now. They were there 20 years ago. I mean, freaking hell, 9/11 was freaking committed by sleeper cells, right? Freaking there was.
We shouldn't open the doors. We shouldn't open the doors.
Sir,
and say,
I'm
"Hey,
not
come on,
saying
hey,
open the
bring your
doors.
bring your
Nobody,
buddies."
sir, no one is saying open the doors.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. Nobody's saying that.
It's insane.
Okay, literally, no one's saying that. Joe
It's
Biden,
like the
Joe Biden,
ideology, though.
sir,
It's
Joe
more
Biden,
the ideology.
Joe Biden had a policy that would have completely shut down the border and like doubled the force of Border Patrol in order to stop people.
Would have. Why didn't he do anything while he was in office?
No, he did. The Republicans blocked it because Donald Trump told them to.
Okay. Then the Democrats have majority on everything back then?
No.
And it's just ideology today. Like ISIS is trying to solve the problem. You say, okay, you're saying you don't agree with open doors, right? All right, but all the people are in the house now, right? They're all in their house. And we're trying to kick them out of the house. We say, hey, you shouldn't be here. You're a criminal. You're doing bad things. And we got good people on these streets trying to get those bad people out.
No,
and then
no.
we have all these Democrats. Okay, who are they trying to get out? Are they trying to get my mom
They're
and my
zip tying
uncle and
children and throwing children into vans.
Okay, I mean,
They had a direct order from the deputy chief of staff of the White House to stop targeting criminals and start going after Home Depots and 7-Elevens. A direct order from the White House to stop trying to go after criminals and to start going after the most innocent freaking immigrants that we have. Sir, if Donald Trump, and I'm telling you this straight up, and literally, no joke, and I've said this 1,000 times, no one's ever been able to find a singular source to show me that anybody has said this. So I'm going to go ahead and say this now. Okay, again, any Democrat, if Donald Trump changed his stance and actually started using the power of ICE to go after actual criminals, okay, and that's what he was going after. Not only would I support it, but I would completely disavow any Democrat or anybody on the left that said that was wrong.
I appreciate that.
You don't have to appreciate it because no one's ever said that was wrong. There hasn't been a single Democrat or a single person on the left who has even remotely suggested that they wouldn't think that was a good policy. Okay? We're not mad at ICE getting criminals out. We're mad at ICE going in and zip tying children in the freezing cold in freaking Chicago. Okay? Leaving them out on the sidewalk, and when people are walking by going, hey, those are children that you have zip tied outside, and they're going like, and they're going, fuck those kids. Or ICE fucking kicking and punching pregnant women. Okay? Or they lost like 1,600 people. We have no idea. They're literally disappearing people.
Yeah. I mean, the issue is we don't have all the intel, right? Like, we don't know what kind of associations they might have to like terrorist organizations or
Yes, we do.
criminal organizations.
No, we know. Less than 20% of the people that ICE is detaining have any criminal record outside of crossing the border, which is a civil offense and a misdemeanor.
What about that one guy, Kilmar? Wasn't that Kilmar?
Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Yeah, that guy.
What about him?
Aren't we having a soft stance on that guy? And didn't he like beat his like freaking wife or whatever, kids or something like that?
Yeah, that's some shit they just found out and made up after they already had deported him and sent him to a torture prison for no reason. Yeah,
so
that's what the
Trump made up.
Sir, I don't know whether he hurt his wife or not. I really don't. There's no criminal records that show that he did. Okay. There's no arrest record that said that he did. Okay. Regardless of that, the punishment for that is not being tortured to death.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. Unless he was part of a terrorist or criminal organization, and no, they don't really have any legal stance for that, right? Even with CIA and all those a-holes. But
yeah, that wife that you're claiming about, begged for him to come home, begged the U.S. government to bring him back.
Well, a lot of abused wives and girlfriends do that.
They also said that those charges were not true. She also said that. And you're right. Sometimes that does happen, sir. You're right. Sometimes that does happen where abuse victims, do that type of thing. That is true. That does happen. Okay. But since there's no court records to show that he ever did it, and she's saying it didn't happen, I'm a lot more likely to believe her than I am Donald Trump, who deported this guy to a torture prison without any due process, no day in court, no evidence shown, no nothing.
Was it Gitmo or was it that other one? And what southern country is that?
CCOT in El Salvador?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Over almost 200 people got sent there, and American tax dollars paid for them to get sent there.
Well, yeah, Bob, we wouldn't have that problem. They were just let in, right? And they weren't taken care of earlier. So.
What?
Like, we wouldn't have to pay for the problem now if the problem didn't exist.
No, sir,
by enforcing the border enforcement.
Sir,
right?
We're sending people that have committed no crime to a prison in a country they're not from that is well known for torturing people.
I mean, I thought most of them committed crimes, right? If not all.
No, there wasn't a single conviction of one of those people.
In the United States.
Correct. Or in Venezuela, or in El Salvador, because they weren't even from El Salvador.
Yeah.
Sure. There seems to be this like strange idea, and I don't know how Donald Trump has somehow gotten this in your guys' head, that the left is just like, let everybody in, open the borders, we want criminals here. That's not happening. Donald Trump used that as a ploy to get votes. Okay? That's all he did. He stopped immigration policy that would have helped Americans. Okay? And he created this entire false rhetoric around fucking immigration. And so when you say this shit to me, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude.
It's just ideology, man. I got plenty of Democratic friends, and they're like, hey, this is stolen land, man. It doesn't matter who we let in. Yeah, I mean, okay, with that argument, my friend makes the same argument. What do you want to do about it? Should we just give it back to the natives? Like, are we just going to go move to, like, the Europe or something? What are we going to do about that issue?
Of course not, sir. Okay, that's not the point. Okay? The point is sir.
We could talk about it all day. Sir, like, what are we going to do?
Sir, we can still have like immigration, right? We can still have legal immigration. We can make sure our borders are secure, right? We can do all of those things, all right? What we can't do is treat people inhumanely, all right? We have to be better than that, and that's what Donald Trump is doing. He's treating people inhumanely. He is treating immigrants like they are subhuman. Okay, that is the issue that the left has, right? Building things like alligator Alcatraz and making fun of them, like having to run from alligators, possibly getting killed in the middle of the fucking Everglades with no AC and no fucking running water. That is inhumane. Okay, if you want to find people and deport them, if immigrants scare you that bad, cool, do it humanely, do it with some fucking respect. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I would prefer for the people that have been here for a long time that are contributing to our economy, because these immigrants do have significant economic benefits for the United States, right? And paid almost $100 billion in taxes just last year. I would rather they are here, okay, to help build up the United States. That's what I would prefer. I would prefer mass amnesty for people who have been here for a certain amount of time that have no criminal record. That's what I would prefer, reallocating our resources in places like ICE, okay, to actually, like go after the actual criminals, after the cartel members, after those terrorists you were talking about, instead of just people at Home Depot. I would rather have that. All right? But if you really just want to get rid of, little Johnny down the street who like is just minding his own business, not hurting anyone because he's not here on some type of documented status, fine. Do it with some fucking respect then, man.
No, yeah, I appreciate that. I can level with that, man.
Yeah, that's my opinion. And I truly don't think that that's like it's like off opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems pretty. I don't know.
I talk to a lot of Democrats, and it's all about the it's stolen land, let anybody in, let the door open kind of policy, and it just seems to be what I hear, the rhetoric that I hear from the left, and that just seems scary to me, man. I want to maintain, us as the United States. We had a lot of military folks. I had a lot of military members in my family die, so that we could, maintain what we have today. And if we have too many people kind of flood the system and take advantage of our services, get rid of our culture, then we're not going to be the United States anymore. And I've heard your podcast. I don't think you really want to be the United States. Nobody really wants it to be 100% what it is today. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it doesn't mean we got to throw it in the trash can either. So,
sir, the United States government is built off, the United States culture is built off of immigrants. It is a whole bunch of immigrants over a long period of time that have slowly moved and changed our culture. Okay? That is what we are as a country. All right?
Yeah.
So having immigrants come in is just another way that we've done that for a long time. Okay? The reason why you eat half the food that you eat in this country is because of immigrants. Not half, most, all the food you eat in this country that you that is some type of freaking immigrant food, right?
Well,
that has been moved in and changed
thinking
around to create American, right? And as we continue through culture, we're gonna have more immigrants come here, and we're gonna keep moving and keep evolving and keep having more culture, like integrate into the United States. We're gonna have our language changed by that, right? Because it does that, right? We are a melting pot. We are a diverse culture. Okay, we are like we are beautiful because of that, right? We should not be trying to preserve this. Oh, we need to keep America right as is right now. No, the reason how America is right now is because of immigration, and how America will be in the future is also because of immigration.
It's not all or none, though. Like, I'm not saying get rid of immigration at all. I don't think you're saying let them flood in. Right? You've already said that. I think the issue on most of the things we have is on all, Democrats, Republicans. I think it's finding a middle ground. Right? I want 25% of the U.S. population to grow within the next year because of immigrants. That's going to put a strain on our services and everything like that, right? I don't think you want it to be 1%, right? Because that doesn't seem like a steady enough thing. So,
but the left isn't saying that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you. I think like now I'm hearing you now.
But what I'm saying is what you're saying as the middle ground is literally just what the left's policy is.
Okay.
What you're saying isn't a middle ground in between the left and the right. What you're saying is exactly what the left is saying. And what the right is saying is we need to return to a whiter America.
Like, where do they say that? Like, you thinking they're implying it somewhere? Like, is there like some hidden manifesto or something?
Oh no, actually, the large majority of them are pretty open about their white nationalism. It's not very hidden. Hell, fucking did like the Young Republicans chat, like the leaders of the Young Republicans, who really aren't that fucking young. They're like in their 30s and shit. Literally, freaking their chat was just hacked, and they were talking about sending their political opponents to gas chambers and calling freaking like black people like all kinds of slurs, like watermelon people and all sorts of stuff, right? Like they were specifically talking to like their love for Hitler, right? These are the leaders in the Republican Party saying this. It got released, and the Vice President of the United States defended them.
I'd have to look that one up. That sounds a little far-fetched.
You can look it up. Not only should you, can you look it up? I encourage you heavily to look it up. Please look it up. Okay?
And this is on like some Democratic news feed, 24/7. They're like trying to feed this crap.
J.D. Vance got on television and defended it on live television.
Oh man. All right, you say so, man.
Bro, this isn't like this isn't fucking some hidden bro, this isn't some thing that I'm like this was super 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 famous that this just happened.
Yeah, man, I gotta call my fiance. I appreciate you, man. You're leveling with me, and I actually feel like you're one of the ones that can actually speak kind of to the point. It's not just yell, like just some random rhetoric. So I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. You have a good one, all right?
You too, brother.
All right. Bye. All right. Well, it was a decent conversation. I can't believe, I can't. If you are in this country and you have not heard about the Young Republicans thing, like, I don't know what rock you're living under, but please come back to me. It's almost easy. Please do. Okay. Y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Shay, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Big W's in chat for Shay. Usually there's a little sticker right there. I don't see the little sticker. Oh, well, maybe I'm having a little glitch out over here. China, thank you so much for the 1,700 jewels on the bear. That's freaking cool. I don't think I've ever gotten the bear before. That's really awesome. Thank you so much. And Freddie, thank you so much for the $5. Said I am out of adjectives. We do run out of them after a while. That does happen. That really does happen after a while. Corvo says logical cognitive thinking leaves the fool when their irrational beliefs are called out to their face. Yeah, that checks. Yeah, did they ever really have logical cognitive thinking? Most of them. That guy didn't seem like too bad. That last one wasn't too bad. The guy before him was, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the Corgi, John. I really appreciate that. And the Husky Winston, I appreciate that also. Thank you guys so much. God, I have been rocking for, how long have I been on? I've been on for almost 3 hours. Woo! That's a long day. I think I'm gonna call it quits, y'all. I think I'm gonna call it quits. I got some stuff to go do. Oh no, holy shit. I have a Venmo over here. Mora, thank you so much for the $1 Venmo. I really appreciate that. Said he is the child of immigrants and asylum seeker. Yeah. Yeah, it is wild. He's defending Trump. Yeah. Well, Donald Trump is also a, child of immigrants and married one. And Raymond, thank you so much for the $5 over on Cash App. Said keep up the good fight. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I actually have to check and make sure I'm in the. Okay, I am. All right, cool. No, I'm gonna call today. I'm gonna go shopping, go do some other stuff. I really, really appreciate you guys. Holy shit. Before I leave again, Tara, can we get a huge tab using the chat for Tara for the $50 Venmo? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really did need a new hoodie today. I think I think that might have just covered it. So thank you so much, Tara. The huge $50 super chat said, always enjoy your insight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tara. I really, really appreciate that. That is very, very sweet of you. And big W's in the chat for that. All right. I really do. I was like, oh, I really need that hoodie today. I'm getting cold. It's getting chilly out here, even in Florida. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful evening. I love y'all. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye. See you guys later.